and I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning and come home in the evening and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo.
Just giving me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
Believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
Let's go. Typically known as the king of late night. Tonight, not so late. Back again to give you folks what you need. Entertainment, of course. So open up, because I got some content for you. Oh, thank you, Anonymous. Hey now!
Here she comes, full blasting top down. Hot shoe, burning down the avenue. Model citizen, zero discipline. Don't you know she's coming home to you? You loser.
Hey, everybody. Cumstered, thank you. Cumstered and dumpstered. Ban 'em up. Ban 'em up.
Ain't nothing like a shiny machine.
All right, let's get into it.
The way to keep the moving parts clean. Hot shoe, burning down the
Burning down the avenue. Hello, everybody. I'm Will Neff, the undisputed king of late night. I am here early tonight. Why? Because I'm going out with friends tonight. Why? Because I'm doing an escape room. Okay? I'm doing an escape room at 9:30. I'm going to leave here at like 9:20, which gives us like 4 hours. Something like that. To hang out. I wanted to make sure you got a full stream in.
The merch.
When do I get to buy the merch? Soon, young Padawan, soon. For a weird IRL stream the room. Escape rooms hate when you do that. Because it basically ruins the room for anybody watching, right? New Guillermo del Toro content. 8 chilling stories. 1 Netflix Halloween event. Well, let's take a look at that. By the way, big news. I'll leak it. I don't give a shit. We have a really, really, really awesome cast for Name Your Price this week. Incredible cast for Name Your Price. I don't own and operate that show. That's Austin, so I'm going to let him leak when he wants to. Who's on the show this week, but it's going to be a big one. It's a big IRL show. But Donna, I've confirmed my second guest. Huge show. This is a person that you're going to want to ask about all of your issues, human sexuality questions, dating questions, whatever. I have the very amazing Mia Malkova on Donna this week. And it is going to be an incredible episode. I'm really excited to have her. Not to mention, we have the incredible, the amazing, the fantastic Cutie Cinderella back, but for the first time on a live episode. So The estrogen will be flowing. The advice will be bubbling. It's going to be a really fun episode. Please make sure you show up and support. The amount of support I got on the first episode was overwhelming, and I was so excited for it. And I'm wearing teeth whitening strips right now, if you can perceive the slight lisp.
Oh, yeah, wow. That's for...
Slob and Robin, thank you. Trying to get these teeth white. All right, let's take a look at this new Guillermo del Toro project. Oh my God, bro. Jesus. By the way, can anybody answer me a question? I have been desperately trying to get the stream back to 1920 by 1080. I think I've finally fixed the resolution. Are we back in 1920 by 1080? I hope so. Yep, we are. Thank you, Jesus. There are so many things that I had to tweak. I don't know why. It's very weird. Where's the hoodie from? This is from no, this isn't MXDVX. This is ASRV. That is someone getting scalpeled in their eye.
This is a show that I've always met.
Haas on Twitch. My goodness, my gosh, my golly. I can't believe it. Thank you. Oh, last thing. I made a promise to you guys. I made a sub goal, right? And it was blonde ? For 6K subs. We got there. I think we can get back there. If we get back there by Wednesday, I will go blonde. I have the account. I have the appointment booked. So that's the deal. If we get back there by Wednesday, I will be a blonde man.
Wanted to make. In this anthology, we gave ownership of each episode to the directors.
Action.
Each of the episodes has a whole world. They present you with different delights.
Different delights.
Or somewhere sweet.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah, wow. That's for cool.
Calling a horror show like
Content. Can't wait to see Donna this week.
thank you so much. Theming a horror show on delights feels so much like Hellraiser. I don't know why I get such Hellraiser like creep vibes when we have such delights to show you. It's like the classic like,
we are the Cenobites. We have such sights to show you. Demons to some, angels to other, pain, pleasure, indescribable.
You get a surprise from each of the bites.
ooh. Oh no.
We wanted to create beautiful, practical creatures.
Yes. Okay. He is talking that good shit to me right now. Practical creature features. For those of you who don't know what that means, if practical doesn't mean anything to you, that means that he is making creature features with monsters that he is actually doing like hair and makeup for. Like they are people who will be wearing makeup that makes them look like monsters rather than just some CGI piece of shit that's flashed on screen. Takes a lot more love. It's actually cheaper in the long run, but I am very excited to see more practical monsters.
The artistry that goes into
Oh, yeah, baby.
creating a great monster.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We have such sights to show you. Stick your fingers in my monster hole. Oh, yes. Demons to some, angels to others.
We achieved some of the most remarkable
Oh,
series.
whoa. This looks really, really good, you guys.
With Cabinet of Curiosities, what I'm trying to say is, look, the world is beautiful and horrible.
The world is beautiful and horrible. Dude, Guillermo del Toro is just a Cenobite at this point.
At exactly the same time.
Guys, this looks awesome. So obviously, you know, he's not reinventing the wheel, right? This is shades of like Shudder's horror shorts, or, you know, more directly like a Twilight Zone with a little bit more of like a creature feature, pure horror, almost like Grimm's fairy tales slant to it. But I'm really excited for this. I think this will be a lot of fun. I like Del Toro a lot. I think one really interesting thematic element to all of his work is that he always kind of like, there's like a weird sympathy he has for monsters in his creative voice, where he's always like making the monsters of his story like real characters, which takes a very specific and very skillful, tactful storytelling voice. So, I mean, obviously it's a bunch of different directors he's recruited. I don't know what capacity he's advising each one of them in, but I'm sure he had at least some creative control. Wow, Speed Racer. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a lot of juice. Thank you so much, my friend Speed Racer. I appreciate you. What else did I want to say? Guys, we had a new episode of Fear and Go Up, and big fan of it. Really good. Very fun. We also had the paywall go up. Oh my God, who cut this? Wait a minute, we have a new hype reel? Let me see this.
Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the sky. Weezer's in the back sipping.
$00, thank you. Why did I just collapse like that?
Sipping yak, yo, what's up? Yak.
What was this from? Bro, I wiped out. Oh, that was from that ranking video with Nade Shot.
Sipping yak, yo, what's up? Girls, rub on your titties. Yeah, I said it, rub on your titties. New York City gritty committee, pity the fool that act shitty in the midst of the calm, the witty.
Dude, this is sick. It's got me on my feet. I'm going to retweet that. That's big time. I might download that and just put that out on my socials, because that's banger. It's my favorite fan cam ever. This week's movie. You know, I don't know what this week's movie is going to be. I haven't really looked at it. Last week, I was kind of painfully underwhelmed by what I saw available to us. Did I hear correctly that Lord of the Rings is back and popping? Because that'd be interesting. That would be interessato. We might do a Lord of the Rings night. That could be fun. A very special Detroit Lions post. Is this the roll for sandwich? We already watched this. Yeah.
Good afternoon, football.
Roll for sandwich. I mean, roll for sandwich is killing it, bro. Getting NFL endorsements. Are you smoking? Soda wants to watch the entire thing back to back to back. That's a lot. That's a long stream right there, daddy. That is a long stream right there, daddy.
13 months already? Love you, Dad.
Oh, thank you for the 13 months. That's a really, really long time. I appreciate you. Do Aqua Teen Hunger Force : movie for theaters? I don't know if it's on the Prime function. We'll see. What else is happening in the world, y'all? It's been 2 days. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. It's been 2 days since I streamed. Surely something is happening. Fly down to Austin and binge Lord of the Rings. Okay. There's another leak. Unless there are unforeseen circumstances.
Oh yeah, wow. Cool.
I think I will be flying down to Austin this weekend to hang out with the Austin crew. I miss them. I want to hang out with them. I want to see them. So I think this weekend, right after I do Donna, I think I'm just gonna send it. So yeah. Do you watch new movies as film of the week, or is it anything? An older film I'd recommend is Night of the Hunter. I watch everything on movie night. Are you going to work out with Half Thor? Oh my God, I hope so. Can you let Half Thor chokeslam you? If the mountain wants to put me through a table, well then gosh darn it, that's what's going to happen. Zoil trailer. Wait, Zoil taller than half Thor? Dude, Zoil is a gigantic human being.
Oh yeah, wow.
Don't get it twisted.
2 years. Absolutely insane it's been that long.
That is true. When I saw him in Amsterdam, he is a huge human being.
He won't say that he is, but he is.
Dude, his braids kind of fucking rule. Oh, they're at S fans?
I'm 6'9". I'm 6'10", you're telling me?
No, you're 7.
7 foot?
You're like my height. Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay.
You're like 7 foot.
Bro, Austin is burly as shit, dude. Yo, Austin looks burly as fuck, dude. Austin's putting everybody on notice. Those dudes got dude, Miz looks burly. That's a burly boy. Booty, 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 boo. I miss the Will Neff X Sear ship. Yeah, dude. I just want to go down there, maybe get some live streams in, have some fantastic dinners and workouts with my boy Sear. Hang out with everybody. I miss everybody. I miss Russell. Nick is. I miss myself, Soda Poppin'. I miss everybody down there. So I can't wait to go down and see everybody. I've been watching a plethora of content, and I've seen you change your facial hair and hair so much every time you pull it off. Yeah, man, I'm one of those people who hates to stagnate on a look. I like to reinvent myself all the time. Will Neff X Palm and Milena cooking stream. Here's one thing I was thinking. I don't think Will Neff should do that cooking stream. I think Donna should do that cooking stream. So if they'll have her, I would love to do a Donna NMP LOL cooking stream. She's a better cook than I am. So yeah. Did you see Hey Donna art? Oh, wow. Look at this. Dude, I love the phone. The phone is great. Hey, Donna. Okay, you made me look way too attractive if this is me as Donna. I love this. Thank you so much. Do. I'm typing up a storm. All right. All right. Did you see this clip of ratting on Rich? What is this?
I need to borrow your screen for 2 seconds there, Sear. Okay. Sorry, we're taking the overlays away for 2 seconds. 50 gifted, by the way.
Oh my God, Gregar. Listen, you don't have to do that. Thank you.
No.
No.
Oh my God.
The way that he just starts like crying and pleading immediately is incredible.
Thank you.
No.
Oh
What is he even saying? Those are words. What is he saying?
Thank you. Thank you.
No.
Oh
It was for a joke.
Oh my God.
All the snitches in chat. True. Dude, Twitch chat do be snitching, bro. It do be. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm gonna go take off these teeth strips, grab some more water. I'll be right back. Bloop. Give me 30, give me 45 seconds.
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Now I can talk better. Hey, everybody. Hey, Donald was absolutely amazing, ma'am. Thank you. That's very flattering.
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Holy
Flip the
claps.
clip it at, or finish the clip it as
Love you, Will.
Canute's reaction. All right, let me watch this. Sorry. By the way, that's who I'm doing my escape room with tonight is Rich. It's so funny, bro. Rich went to Austin. He was supposed to go down there for like 2 days. And he stayed for a month. Is Donna inspired by Mrs. Doubtfire? No, not even slightly. More coffee talk from SNL. My grandmother, Grandma Mary. My babysitter, Christine. And Linda Belcher. It's kind of an amalgam of a bunch of different stuff.
I know Rich is eating chocolate. I have the picture. Rich, send this message to him. Rich, tomorrow it will be 2 hours of cardio on your off day, okay? Fucking cheating on your diet by eating chocolate.
Disgusting. Eating chocolate on your off day. Oh my gosh, look at this. The new Fear and Malding?
Yeah, you know, so you got a couple things of it, and you're like a beefier version of me. You got more muscle.
Wow. Everyone should go watch. But not right now because I'm live. Zoomy zooms. All right. I saw your toes. Guys, those toes were NFT. not free toes. Okay? So please, don't view them. Please pay for the paywall. I'm curious, have you seen Nope yet? Nope. I haven't. I just haven't had much time. In terms of like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have much free time, and like going to the movie theater right now is kind of just, it seems intimidating. Like last night was the first night I slept a bunch in a while, and I felt good. See Prey? Yeah, I saw Prey. I talked about Prey. I thought Prey was good. I think Prey is probably my third favorite Predator movie, which is saying something because I really enjoy two of the Predator movies, and I really dislike the rest of the Predator movies. So I put it more in that category of Predator movies I like. I didn't like fall madly in love with it, but I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was fun. So I think mission accomplished there. I don't know what you expect from Predator movie. I think one thing though that it has established, that I talked to the Chapo boys about, is like I think it's going to be a wonderful kind of like season of Predator films where it's like you can now figure out what the Predator's next step is, right? Put them in historical situations, right? Have them fight a samurai, have them fight a Viking, have them fight, someone in the future. All of these are like the Roman Legion. Put them in the Colosseum. All those things are perfect. Anything you leak about Rich's D&D game? No.
Take no shit from anyone.
Gonna be honest, was going into Hey Donna not expecting to be a fan, but I still wanted to show support. I was very quickly won over once I saw you do your thing.
Yep.
Seeing you adapt Liv as a character was such a treat. Keep
Thank
up
you.
the good work.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had a lot of misconceptions about what Donna was gonna be. So I think when people actually got a chance to go in and see what it was about, and that the advice was gonna be not just totally batshit stupid advice, but actually, pretty reasonable advice that is there to build people up and not just make a joke of them, and that it's still fun and funny, and then that it's like live content that's like super weird and
Donna was
of
pretty
the
cute.
moment.
Can you hook a brother up with her number? Smile.
Ah, Brand, you dirty boy. You nasty, nasty boy. No. Thank you, Brad. But yeah, you had an insane amount of viewers for Hey Donna. I think that's only going to go up if I'm being completely frank. I think that the future episodes of Donna are only going to perform
You're really good at your Donna
better.
impersonation. You sound just like her.
Oh, thank you so much, Jedi Taquito. How do we call into the show? There's a form that you fill out. I think someone has that form to give to you guys. You fill that form out, and then I think it has further instructions. There you go. Or you just call in on the day of the show after you do that. Does doing the voice hurt? I mentioned a few days ago what hurts is going from my Ed McMahon character on Name Your Price. Because he's like a very gruff, like, hey now, let's bring that out. It's like low and it's gravelly. Going from like this to going, hi! Like that transition puts a little tension on the old vocale chords. You know what I mean? So... Donna is Will's real voice. That is true. G4 TV is going to have to change its name to the Neff work? Maybe. I filled out a form a week early and you never contacted me. Why don't you care about my problems, Madge? I don't actually run that specifically. If they didn't get to you, it's probably because they had enough callers. A lot of people filled out forms. I'm sorry if we didn't get to you. That is not my fault. But I hope in the future, they do let you call in or whatever. I don't. I was just memeing. I know. Me too. Well, I have a bit for Donna. Have a friend call in as a character from movies asking advice like Detective Somerset from Seven or like Ron Burgundy from Anchorman. Interesting. Yeah, I think obviously, you know, Donna is a show that will build out in fun and interesting directions. As of now, though, I think we're just trying to get the basic show working. Like, we didn't even have Cutie last time. The phone wasn't working. We're still figuring it out. It's a brand new type of property, so give it some time and we'll get it going. Get up! Is it all right if I make up a problem to call him? So what I would say is, like, make up a problem, like, use something that is actually happening in your life that maybe you don't have a pressing need for advice on, but don't, like, try and improv some weird situation, because typically, I'm going to be honest, like, you're not improvers, and I can get way better details out of someone who's telling the truth, who has those details to give, rather than someone who has just created a meme situation where when I try and dive deeper into it, you're going to collapse, right? That's not me trying to be rude or say that you don't have performing chops. It's just, you know, probably the truth. Are you taking care of yourself, Will? Seems like you're back on making back-to-back shows. I am. I'm doing my best I guess I'm the second Turk following you. No, we got to have more than 2 Turks. Turks are welcome here. I've been taking a little bit more time off in between streams, you know, and I hate to be the thing that kind of I have to relinquish on a little bit, you know. But there are some times that I'm just so tired and getting on stream just feels like an absolute impossibility. So, you know, there will be some nights that I take off from streaming. For a while there, I was like 6 nights a week. It'll probably be more, you know, 5 nights a week type stream weeks. So we'll see. Madge, I started as the head rat in the Cinderella style. I started as the head rat in the Cinderella styled play in high school. Gotcha. That sentence was weird to read. Burnout is real in all fields, dude. Burnout is real. I was definitely feeling burnout at one point. I was like, oh my God. Holy shit. But I pulled it together. It's great. Take care of yourself. Wouldn't want the stream to interrupt the best show out there right now. Yeah, I think Donna is definitely gonna grow.
9 months, baby.
I hope people realize that Donna is a lot of fun. Thank you for the 9 months. Shit. Do you ever plan on doing big acting gigs? That is the plan. I think that is the plan. Yep. Will Minx be a semi-recurring character on Hey Donna? I don't think so. Yes.
Movie pitch. Prey 2, Ghost of Sparta. The Predator is hired by the Covenant to travel back in time to kill Chief's ancestor, Kratos, and Master Chief must defeat the Predator while protecting baby Kratos, in a black and white silent movie aesthetic.
Wow. Now that is the logical limit of the multiverse right there, folks. I don't think Minx will be a permanent fixture on Donna, not because she didn't do a good job, but because I probably would never ask anybody to do what I do. And that's like a very weird way of looking at what I do, because I do 2 shows back to back, and I do it because I know I can do it, and I've been performing live for a long, long time. But I think to ask that of my friends is almost like a little abusive, right? Like and maybe that's all in my head, but it just feels crazy to be like, hey, can you sign up for a 12-hour day of content? Thanks. Are Mimi problems okay? Mimi problems are okay, for sure. If you have a problem that's a little bit of a meme, but it's actually happening, go for it. Are you going to be leaving Name Your Price early each episode? So last episode, I left particularly early because we wanted to make sure that I had time to do the transition from my Name Your Price outfit to my Donna outfit and my Donna makeup. This week, I don't think I will leave nearly as early. I had like 25 minutes that I was in full makeup. So I think I will only leave at like the very, very tail end of my stream. I will basically duck out the very, very end of Name Your Price and then throw on all my Donna stuff and walk on set and immediately do that. Also, the reason why I build out extra early is because my contingency plan for being late is having Cutie take over for like the first 10 minutes and introduce the show. But Cutie wasn't there. So we paid special attention to making sure I was there for lights up. Will Donna ever guest host Name Your Price? Probably not. She'll make a cameo from time to time, certainly. But I don't know if she would ever host an entire episode. Will Donna... Oh, that's what you just asked. You're the fucking man, Donna. Thank you. Will it be on your stream every week? Fuck yes. You know, that was always the goal. Like, coming into G4 like 2 years ago was to eventually create, you know, character-based content, full character-based shows that would live on my stream. It's Hurts. Thank you for the prime. And, you know, I think I've accomplished that. Obviously, we're still working out some kinks on Doodles, but I think Doodles is going to take on a second life, a new form. And we want to get it to where Doodles and Donna are both on my channel like once per week. So there's like a really fun kind of... So we would have film night, Donna, Doodles, and Fear End all in 1 week. So it's like a big block of original programming outside of just, you know, me waxing and doing the React Andy shit, which was always the goal. Which will probably kill my viewer count completely. Which will probably eviscerate the number of people watching. But what can you do?
You do it at the same time, okay?
Yeah, but how do you feel about someone else as a co-host for Name Your Price so you can focus on Donna in the future? Fuck that. That's my show. Deadass? Fuck no. I built that house. And listen, I don't mean to sound like a prick, but sincerely, there are only a handful of people that I think could do what I do as well as I do it on a regular basis. And I don't know if they'd want to. I think I do something kind of unique. Is Wubby one of those people? Dude, actually, yeah. Wubby would be incredible. Wubby is one of those handful of people from Twitch that could take over on Name Your Price and smash it. I mean, if Kit Boga, Sear, Wubby, Germa. I'd have to think, but like that's like the maybe Rich too, but that's like the short list of like people that I think would be able to do that. Whoa! Hardcast! Holy zoinks! That's a lot of
Juice, motherfucker, yeah.
Thank you. All right, we've been pulling dick for about an hour. Whatever happened to John Zerka? What do you mean? I think he still streams. Holy smokes. Wait, did someone just... Oh my gosh. My brain was absolutely on Zoinks mode because I was reading my Discord. Hey, Ambrosia with a 10.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Dude, I literally felt my brain just fall out of my skull. You know what it is? Whenever I get messaged that I'm like scheduled for something, my brain just falls out of my head. It just goes... did you break character during the Donna ad breaks, or did you go full oil man? I went full oil man. Again, let me say, hey, Ambrosia, thank you for the 10. Wine Bee, thank you so much. The Simon Says fan cam was fire. Thank you. Yes, it was. Just got a promoter to a producer position after years of hard work. Do you have any recommendations for jewelry? Yes, Vitally. Online, I'll link it to you right now. While I answer this question. Did I break character? No. I did not break character. Mainly because I think it is hard to get your voice back. This is one of my favorite inexpensive jewelry companies right here, and they're giving me an ad. This right here, they have a lot of super funky stuff, but they have like a lot of more basic pieces. I'll link it in chat. This is not an ad. It's because they asked me. So I use this thing, and anybody who does improv, this is the last thing I'll do before I get into the Discord channel's amazing recommendations that we have now for me to watch content. If you haven't seen it, we have a channel that's just built for content. If someone could link it, I forgot how to find it. So the reason I don't break Donna character is, first of all, the voice. So I use this thing where I will have a phrase that I just associate with each character, and it helps me get into their voice. So like, for example, if I'm doing Christopher Walken, the one that I always use is good night moon, good night spoon, good night cow, jumping over the moon. And it like helps me get their cadence and like the way that their voice sounds, because cadence is really important too.
Oh yeah, wow. That's cool.
The other thing is, I think it takes the people in the scene around you out of the improv. So I think it's a lot easier for your scene partners to believe that you're Donna if you don't step out of Donna. For Donna, my phrase is, hello, everybody. It helps me like kind of get that like sing-songy kind of thing that I have going on. Oh, we got some good content in here, boys and girls. How to handle and catch a coyote. Major upgrade to a primitive hut. Oh, yes. All right. I have missed shelter porn for a long time. Oh, this is just like a silent rock slap. Oh, this is just a video of a very sexy guy silently slapping mud.
truly amazed how a few.
And that is something I could be into. The Legend of Jeff? Criminology? What is the Legend of Jeff? What is the Legend of Jeff?
Am I under arrest?
For now.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah, I'll explain everything. But before I explain myself to you.
Jeff is a classic? Jeff is a hero? Has Hassan already watched this? Am I recycling content? This is only 14 minutes. Ages ago? Jeff is a crackhead who befuddled cops. Well, all right, let's warm up with some spicy reaction. Watching Jeff. Thank you for the almost 3,000 of you. Almost, but not really. But almost 3,000 of you. Let's check out Jeff. Everybody loves a good criminality story.
Am I under arrest?
Is volume good? One's a volume is good.
For now.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah, I'll explain everything. But before I explain myself to you, before we talk to each other, I need to read your rights, okay?
What am I under arrest for?
Well, like I said, I need to read your rights first. Obviously,
Okay, he seems.
robbery. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. He seems pretty composed so far, and I'm gonna put on captions too. Seems pretty composed so far.
I need to read your rights first. Obviously, the charge is robbery. Okay.
Obviously, the charge is robbery. Now, that is a little foreshadowing that he might have been caught red fucking handed, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I'll explain everything.
I'm under arrest for robbery?
You are, but let me read your rights real quick, okay? And then I'll explain it all to you. Is that okay? Let me do that real fast? All right, Jeff. Can you read with me? Just read in your head, okay? Before we ask you any questions, you must understand what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent.
Bro, what? Read in your head. He's half a room away.
And you say can will be used against you in the court of law. Does that make sense? You've probably heard these before, haven't you? Does that make sense?
Okay, dude. Don't assume it makes an ass out of you and me.
Do you understand your rights? Do you understand your rights, Jeff? Yes or no?
Okay, Jeff is giving him the silent treatment.
You understand? Do you understand what I read you? Did you comprehend what I read you?
Now it's a waiting game. Jeff's playing hardball.
Talk to you and figure out what happened and move you on out of here, at least some of it. So do you understand the rights I read to you?
If you got something that says you didn't do this robbery, this is your chance to talk to us.
Okay, good cop.
Usually I'm the prick.
You look like the prick.
Got him! Yo, Jeff! Let my man live, bro.
This is Jeff. Jeff is
we know.
a heroin addict and has been for the last 14 years.
Okay.
He is 6'5", weighs 153 pounds, and has now found himself in the unfortunate circumstance of being charged with armed robbery. This is in the state of Georgia, so if found guilty, they will render him the minimum term of 10 years without parole, up to the maximum term of life in prison. Jeff has been through the system multiple times over, and he will know that if indeed found guilty, his sentence will be considerably longer than the minimum 10 years due to his previous convictions.
Jeff, do you understand your rights? Yes or no? I'm not asking if you want to talk to me at this point. I just want to know, do you understand what I read to you?
So am I under arrest?
Yes, you're under arrest.
Get me back to the cell. I don't talk to you motherfuckers.
Okay.
2.5 hours later.
Want a Coke?
He's filibustering.
You gonna be able to pop it open or you need me to?
Jeff has become somewhat of a cult figure in the domain of interrogation footage. His recognition seems to have grown through his own popularity, as opposed to the notoriety of his
A cult figure? Okay.
crimes, like most others.
Cult of the Lamb, Jeff?
Exact reasoning behind this can be tricky, as the interest...
All right, I'm starving and I gotta pee. Give me 30 seconds. Bleep. All right, I got a healthy ass Lunchable, and I'm ready to watch Jeff.
In this character will no doubt vary by the individual. Yet we found the most collective reason can be explained through a single pop culture reference: the anti-hero. While the concept is timeless, the actual term was created through the realm of modern
Jeff,
cinema.
the anti-hero?
Characters passing through the decades that fit the criteria. Yet perhaps the most textbook example could be the protagonist from the 2003 feature Bad Santa, a middle-aged man simply known as Willie. This is a character that lies, cheats, steals, swears at children, drinks an inconceivable amount of alcohol, and is generally extremely
inconceivable
every single person he comes across.
Look who's here, Jimmy. It's Santa.
Oh, fucking right.
Let's tell him what you want for Christmas.
I'm on my fucking lunch break, okay?
On paper, this is an extremely unlikable individual, yet for some reason, we root for him while following his story. Anti-heroes are flawed, as are we. Their moral complexity mirrors our own, and just like us, they are learning and growing as they move along the path of life. Their mistakes make us think of our mistakes, and perhaps the reason we root for their redemption is the reflection of ourselves rooting for our own. So you might be curious about the contrast between the anti-hero and the villain. One we embrace and relate to, while the other we despise and detach from. Both are driven by selfish motivations, yet our emotional response differs between them. The reason for this, while not necessarily obvious, is a relatively...
We are getting a lot of backstory on Jeff's situation.
Simple formula. The anti-hero must have a glimmer of humanity alongside a noticeable vulnerability. This is what allows the viewer to truly connect with the character. It allows us to forgive them when they are unethical, but admire them when they are noble. It allows them to be angry, cowardly, and greedy, but also cheerful, brave, and empathetic.
Who the fuck is Thurman? Is that you? Is your name Thurman?
Yeah,
Thurman Merman?
yeah.
Thurman Merman.
Jesus.
With relation to Jeff, while many of us can't relate to the feeling of being addicted to heroin for well over a decade, we can certainly understand the feeling of sadness. While we may not be able to put ourselves directly in the shoes of an addict, we can somewhat relate to the adversity that comes with it, not to mention the incredible magnitude of the situation he is going through in this video. How he responds to this very moment is quite literally the precursor to his entire future. He is at a crossroad moment in life, where on one side is the possibility of hope, and on the other side is the outright guarantee of despair. The long-term path he goes down will be the consequences of the short-term choices he makes.
Has anybody seen the show Outlaw Star? I feel like this narrator kind of sounds like him. Like, a boy has the right to dream. His path's laid out before him. And it's like, all right, okay.
All of which have to be judged and decided on while going through the early stages of heroin withdrawal.
I need methadone.
You need methadone?
Yeah, you guys can get me that methadone or what?
I don't have any. Do you have medication for it, or I mean, a prescription for it? Or?
No.
What do you need methadone for?
Because I'm a fucking junkie and you guys, I can't get no methadone. I'm going to go through with me.
Because I'm a fucking junkie.
Here in a minute.
Where do you usually get your methadone from?
I don't get it. I get heroin.
How long you been using heroin?
Long time, buddy. What are you
Yo, Jeff, he's a straight shooter.
trying to talk to me about here?
Talk to you about what happened last night. Look, here's the deal. Either you're in a bad set of circumstances or you went and committed an armed robbery last night.
Oh,
right?
I'm in a shitty, wrong place at the wrong time, obviously. I didn't commit no fucking armed robbery.
All right, then let's talk about this. Let's
I
not
don't have
keep
nothing.
up
I
the
don't talk
act.
to the police, man.
I think it's in your best interest to.
How?
Man.
I don't talk
you're
to the
sitting
police.
Here, okay.
I've been through the system, buddy. I know how
I know
it
you
works.
have. I know you have,
You're
Jeff.
not my friend.
I'm not your friend.
You're trying to fucking get me. Or you're
No,
trying
I'm not trying to get
all
you.
you're trying to get is some fucking stupid ass fucking confession, and you're not gonna get one.
Jeff, I'm not going to get a confession out of you for nothing.
Exactly, because I
And
didn't
I'm
do
not
nothing.
trying to get a confession out of you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't commit no armed robbery, and y'all ain't got no fucking evidence saying I did. Let me go. All you did is find me sitting in my buddy's house because my fucking buddy's dog's going ape shit. I go outside, there are cops everywhere, and they spotlight me. They say, "Come here." I say, "What's up?" They search me. They ain't find nothing.
I believe him. I don't know why, but I believe him.
What's
Let
up?
me read this.
No.
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna sign it.
You don't have to sign it. But let me read it for you. Okay?
I'm not signing nothing.
You don't have to sign it. Let me read it.
You already read it to me earlier.
I know we did, but I'm going to read it to you again.
Thanks for the coke.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the coke.
Ask any questions, you must understand what your rights are.
And here we have our glimmer of humanity. Jeff extends his gratitude in recognition of the small favor the detective has done for him. There is no return benefit for Jeff giving thanks to his adversary, meaning there is an element of selflessness and grace in the act. There may be considerable emphasis on the glimmer of humanity here, but all we need is a glimmer to know that it's at least in there.
You have the right to remain silent. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. If you decide to answer questions now with no lawyer present, you still have the right. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand the rights I've explained to you?
No.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Tell me what happened last night. Plain and simple. Your side of the story.
I'm not talking to you. I'm a lawyer.
All right. This is
I
what I
told
don't
you this
understand.
was- I told you
I
this
know,
was
but
gonna
this is
happen.
what I don't understand, Jeff. You were sitting there talking just like you were ready to sit here and tell me what happened last night, and then all of a sudden I read that to you, and you screw it, I ain't talking to you. I want a lawyer. I don't understand that. What changed just in the...
Because I told you what, I already told you what happened.
You didn't.
How didn't I?
You didn't tell me what happened last night.
How didn't I just tell you what?
But now you've handcuffed me, and I can't talk to you because you asked for an
want a
attorney.
lawyer.
So, okay, that's fine. But I will tell you right now, you're still on a hold for a robbery.
I know. I don't know why. I need a fucking lawyer because obviously I didn't do nothing. And obviously you guys know I didn't do nothing because I've been arrested for the same bullshit before and you guys don't interview me this much. So, wham bam, thank you for the coke. Put me back in the cell.
Wham, bam, thank you for the coke. Put me back in the cell. Put it on my tombstone, baby.
What's that?
Just fuck it. All right. I know we did this twice, but I got to do it again every time, okay? Before I ask you any questions, I got to read your rights. You understand that? Okay. Go ahead and sign there. Let me take your Jeff off.
Look, I'm not signing nothing. I don't want
Okay, you don't have to sign anything. You understand your rights, though, right?
Yeah.
That's all I need. A verbal yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
When's this coke gonna be here? Or is that just a fairy tale?
Is that just a fairy tale? You lured me here with false promises of sugary beverages.
But he's getting there right now. He'll be here in about 2 minutes. Just to watch the soda machine.
Ah, there he goes.
It tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Preachers, thank you. Watch this be like the longest form ad for Coke ever. Like Pepsi went in the direction of like having Kendall Jenner hand a cop to a cop, like, a Pepsi to a cop at like a fucking civil rights march, and everybody fucking hated it. And so Coke was like, listen, we got to go in an opposite direction. Let's have a fucking heroin addict tell cops to suck his dick and then give him a Coke.
I have enough evidence
Like what?
of the armed robbery, okay? But, you know, if you're saying you didn't do it, you need to give me your side of the story.
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, give me your side of the story. You got, I mean, convince me. Because I got a lot of evidence. I got a lot of physical evidence.
Well, like what? Name the physical
Well, I don't
evidence.
need to, why should I tell you that? I mean, you haven't been helpful to me at all.
Because I don't believe that you got any evidence.
There's only a couple pieces of evidence I'm missing.
Name them.
What's that?
Name them.
Well, why do I need to do that? You haven't helped me out at all.
Oh, yeah,
You give me
This sucks, bro. He's literally going through withdrawal and they're just hammering him.
When's the next Cult of the Lamb game?
Probably I'll end tomorrow's stream with Cult of the Lamb. Tonight's going to be a quicker stream. I got on earlier because I'm going to an escape room with Rich. And so I just wanted to do some real world have fun shit. So I wanted to make sure you guys still had a nice hearty stream.
I give you a little bit. We go back and forth. I give you one of my pieces of evidence, and I give me a little something.
No, anything.
Oh, yeah,
I
wow,
think,
that's very cool.
Can and will be used against me.
Sure, but
Uncle Double T, thank you.
Also tell your parole officer that you helped me out.
That doesn't mean dick. No way.
That doesn't mean dick.
I didn't do it. There's no way.
How drunk were you? Were you drunk?
No, I was pretty sober.
So you're in your right mind. You remember everything about the night, right? So you couldn't have done something not remembered. You couldn't have gone and robbed the place and not remembered?
Fuck, no.
Okay, so you would remember if you robbed the place. So I'm willing to go to the prosecutor, I'm willing to go to the parole officer and say, this guy's a good guy, he helped me out. He didn't do anything. I know you don't want to go back to jail, right? Back to prison.
Well, fuck. It looks like I am if and you're going to charge me with some bogus shit. You guys don't, I mean, what do you got, really? That I was at a buddy's house and I happened to come outside because you guys were fucking swarming the area and they
Which
fucking...
door did you come out of?
I came out of the front door. You know what? I'm not saying myself, man. I'm done, man. Fuck this. The only reason I came up here is to get a fucking Coke.
Okay. You're not getting out.
Oh, no. I can't finish it?
You can finish it. I got things to do.
This is... How about that Butterfinger you promised? This is... Yo, they are just flies in Jeff's web to get a bunch of treats.
I promise you that. I said we'd see what happens. All right? Like I said, you haven't helped me out at all. Why should I help you out? I got you a soda. That's good enough.
Jeff was released from custody just under 12 hours later.
No.
That takes us to the final and perhaps the most important component of an anti-hero, the conclusion, which unfortunately in this particular case is unknown. The final outcome of this story will vary depending on the source, some with a happy ending, others a cautionary tale. One legend has it that Jeff got clean soon after his release and now works in the corporate marketing team for Coca-Cola.
Yes!
While another states that he was picked up the day after for the same charge and is now facing down a 15-year sentence in Georgia State Prison. If we go by the Hollywood formula, an anti-hero's actions throughout the course of their life are so drastic and single-minded that they only ever lead to salvation or destruction, and their final decision is always dictated by what they have learned and how they have changed throughout the course of the story. The paradox here is that we don't even need the theme of imprisonment to mold the outcome of this particular story, as the theme of addiction is more than enough. Whether he goes to prison or not, Jeff will either manage to get clean and rebuild his life, or he won't. He is headed for salvation or destruction no matter what. And that single...
He has a YouTube channel?
Define Jeff as an anti-hero. His outcome is a mystery, but either way it goes, it most certainly...
Schrodinger's Jeff?
Anti-hero's ending.
That was fascinating. Can you tell us America You Up story like you would on the podcast with Hassan? The meth story and me... Wait, that meth story and me and my brothers laughing. I don't know if I'm being a dyslexic piece of shit, but I had a little trouble following the logic thread there. Just a little. But it sounds like you want an America Me Up. I think America Me Up will come back at some point in the podcast's life. But we've just been so blessed with guests that we haven't yet. Okay, now someone else submitted this. Guys, the content submission portal was the most brilliant thing I've ever done. I don't know what the hell this is. It's Arm Boxing Official. It looks like two men who have their hands duct taped together, or rather electrical tape, or more of a scotch tape, are about to beat the shit out of each other. I was correct. And there's a table in between them. Oh, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Oh, this is so stupid. Oh, this is so dumb. I love it. DMCA incoming? You think? For this? Here, we don't need the volume, so I'll just turn the volume off. Then I probably won't get DMCA'd. Oh, God damn it. Okay, they're just swinging. They're swinging. This guy's pulling. He's trying to get up. Oh, it's a little bit of arm wrestling. They're also chained to the table. Fucking ads. Come on, I'm sub to Hassan. It doesn't carry over. What the fuck are you talking about? A man's first message in my channel. It's a joke, Will? Yeah, I know. I'm joking as well. God, people take me too serious. Okay, is someone going to get knocked out? He's threatening. They're kind of posturing. Big shot. He's leaving his hand out. Oh! Zapped him. And that's the end of the first round. Fun had by all. What an amazing game. Changing the sporting world. Taekwondo rockers versus cocaine dealing ninjas. The true story of the Miami Connection. The double life of Chris Farley, a Vice documentary. What? And it's 40 minutes long? Can I watch this on stream?
Oh yeah, wow, that's for
Biller, thank you so much. Can I watch this on stream? Yeah?
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Well, right now we are waiting for just any information police and investigators may give to the news media and to people wanting to know exactly what happened. The only thing that we do know is we have been able to confirm through the Chicago Police Department that it is the body of Chris Farley, as you had mentioned earlier.
Jesus Christ.
Chris Farley was one of the biggest names in 90s comedy.
You know him from his work on Saturday Night Live. Please welcome Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
By the way, this little reel, if you want to watch something incredible, every single one of Chris Farley's appearances on late night shows is worth watching. He was an absolute maniac on late night shows.
He was the shit. I mean, previous to SNL, I was like drooling.
Okay, here you go. So this is he at Second City. Let me back it up. So this is he at Second City, and I assume this is Tim Meadows. Tim Meadows was at Second City with him. I've told this story before. One of the great Chris Farley stories I ever heard was Chris, like many performers, I've told you, always tried to get his scene partners to break, right? He tried to get them to crack up. And it was like his favorite thing to do, as it is for many improv performers. It's kind of like... I don't know. It's kind of like a slam dunk in improving when you can get your improv partners to do one of those. So we all aspire to it. And Tim Meadows was a guy he couldn't get to break at Second City. So when I went to work at Second City when I was like 18 years old, everybody knew that I was there because I was a Chris Farley mega stan, and anybody who had known Farley from his time there, I would basically assault them until they would give me a story. And one of my favorite stories, one of the women that helped start Second City told me a story of how this is the Second City stage right here, the main stage. And there are wings on the side of this stage where performers will get ready. And because Chris Farley couldn't get Tim Meadows to break, one night he just took his cock out, took his pants down, and started flopping his belly and his cock on the side of the stage. And Tim Meadows just like lost all like form and function and ability to perform. But the audience like couldn't see it because there are these like wings, and the audience like didn't really understand why Tim Meadows was cracking up. But the audience like all started dying laughing as well because the performer was dying laughing. And she said it just like culminated in uproarious laughter, and no one knew that on the side of the stage, Chris Farley was like violently flailing his naked penis. I love that story.
I was like drooling at that guy's performance.
As a cast member,
dude, Catan is another really sad story. It came out that Catan, kind of the reason that he disappeared from the public eye was during one of his SNL sketches. He very, very badly injured his back. And apparently was like never the same performer because his spine was in such a bad state from doing a stunt during one of his sketches.
Drooling at that guy's performance.
As a cast member on Saturday Night Live and a comic actor living in Hollywood, Farley's rare mix of physical humor and childlike tenderness won him legions of fans.
Chris Farley was one of the best physical comedians.
Dude, Chris Farley, dude, Jesus Christ, he's jumping through everything.
Of his generation, total commitment to the character.
He was just so genuine, and he wasn't really playing a character. He was just always being Chris. There was something about Chris.
Catan was on the most recent season of Celebrity Big Brother, was an awkward guy. I think you have to maybe nurture the possibility that Chris Catan didn't want to be on that show and has to be on Celebrity Big Brother to pay his bills. So the whole experience was fucking shitty for him.
That made people like him and want to root for him.
By 1997, his private struggles were becoming front-page tabloid fodder as Farley slid into a life of Hollywood excesses.
Was he your inspiration for your destructive tendencies? Yeah, absolutely. I grew up worshiping Chris Farley. I still remember where I was when I was told Chris Farley died. I was on rollerblades as a little kid. I remember right where I was on Cherry Hill Drive. I grew up worshiping him. My family were all huge fans of his. And I think that like give it all you got, take big falls, take big stage dives, that I employ in my comedy definitely came from Chris.
Chris was fun. The second hour drinking with Chris was the most amazing time in your life. But the next 5 hours was brutal.
You're doing comedy to get that response, but there was something different with him.
His eating, drinking, and drug use were escalating, so his old colleagues at Saturday Night Live plotted to save the beloved star. They tapped the floundering Farley in to host the show in hopes of setting him back on track.
That makes sense in that way, unless you're an addict like me and go, oh, that's trade wreck ready to happen.
6 weeks later, Chris Farley was dead.
His body was discovered yesterday in his luxury apartment in Chicago's John Hancock Center.
Saturday Night Live made him, and it tried to save him. How did it all go so wrong?
Comedy ain't pretty. It never was.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to be entertained.
Getting the laugh is the greatest addiction.
They want more of it. They want more of it. She was getting death threats.
It's your head. Sorry about that.
Bro, he was so physical. His body must have fucking ached after shows. My body, after some of the shows, after some of the stunts I've done, fucking aches, bro.
Oh, how about a world of sweet, fresh mornings and tens of thousands of lakes of Minnesota and Wisconsin?
Chris Farley's comedic ambitions took root in the Midwest.
Top of the heap is our father, who was a jokester. And then came my mother, who was the prankster. And then came my sister, Barbara Ann. She's the eldest daughter. Tommy was the heady comic that is very smart. And then there was Christopher. We all know where he came in, the middle child.
Geez, we were just comedy junkies. The biggest impact that had it on all of us, and certainly Chris, was Carol Burnett, because of the ensemble. He loved the fact that these people were so funny that they couldn't even get through a sketch without cracking each other up.
Even in a family that loves...
That's a great sketch on the Carol Burnett show, the dentist. If I remember correctly, that's where the dentist accidentally sedates himself and then like tries to make his way through a surgery. Carol Burnett is actually very funny in that show.
Were so funny that they couldn't even get through a sketch without cracking each other up.
Even in a family that loved comedy, Chris stood out.
Chris just got it. You know, he could think of something funny so quickly, work off the people around him, and just deliver. He tried, I think, some stand-up, and just wasn't good at it. You know, making jokes. But then he found this like improv thing, where it's...
Bro, this is eerily similar. Listen, I was decent at stand-up. I just fucking hated it. There's something about improv that like just always appealed to me more. I think there's like an element of stand-up where it's just like, it's so like contrived doing the same jokes every night. Now, some people are fucking amazing at it, and some people are just so witty off the dome that they don't have to do that. But stand-up is like such a, I don't know, there's a lot less joy in stand-up, I would say.
It's an ensemble, and it just, boom, it just clicked.
The folks in our first story promised that if you give them the chance, they'll give you the laughs.
Mr. North, one more question. Son of God. How do microwaves work?
He learned it. He was there for like a very short time. And it's like, this is what I want to do. Where do people do this? And they said, well, it's done. It started in Chicago.
Second City, bro. Oh my God. Nostalgia. I used to take the fucking bus to Second City every goddamn morning. And I would work in the office filing papers all fucking morning. Then in the afternoon, I would go and take tickets for the second stage and the main stage. And then at night, I would fucking like perform like at the late night. And I also went to school there like 3 times a week, bro. I lived in this building.
Second City, and like, then I'm going to Chicago. And he was gone. And I thought he would be back in like six months or something. He never came back.
You know, we were at Wrigley Field last night. They had a set of all-stars there, but this stage right here has put out its own set of magnificent all-stars.
Low key, I saw you once. Bullshit. If you can name the comedy group that I was with in Chicago, I will gift 100 subscriptions right now.
Something that has always stood out to me in the history of comedy is just how much comedians inspire and motivate future generations of comedians.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, it is. It's very cool.
You know, it's a great story. We went to the owner of the theater and said, like, I'm ready. And she said, no, you're not. And he goes, I'm going to do it. I know I can do this.
No, you guys don't fucking know. Get the fuck out of here. No one saw me.
On stage, but if you mess up, you're gone. And he goes, I'll
and you can't Google it.
Take that bet. And she said, all right. And he got up there and she said, it was amazing. He delivered.
My name is Melanie Hutzel. I was on Saturday Night Live from 91 to 94.
Not in the group. I was in my early 20s as well. I don't remember that shit. Maybe you saw me. Maybe you saw me on the second or third stage. That would be fucking crazy if you did.
Jan Brady. Jan?
And that is how I knew Chris Farley. He had left quite a history and was already...
Dude, this is so fucking nostalgic. These are the wings I was talking about at Second City.
A legend in his own right in Chicago.
With his physical intensity and his dogged desire to do anything for a laugh, Chris Farley was a gift to other writers. One notable Second City writer was Bob Odenkirk, the actor and comedian.
There's Bob, and then there's Meadows, too. You'll recognize Bob, and there's Meadows right there. That's
one notable Second City writer was Bob Odenkirk, the actor and comedian who formed a fruitful early partnership with Farley.
Yo, Better Call Saul be slapping this season.
Bob had created a character named Matt Foley.
No, Matt, you don't have to do that. Look, we'll never smoke pot again.
I don't give a rat's behind because I'm moving in. I'm sick and tired of living in a van downtown.
It's really fun to also see like characters in their early incarnations. Like, you know, like you can tell that the energy is different on that line between watching that version and watching the final version with Spade and Hartman. It's really interesting to look at.
Absolutely fantastic. And Chris is terrific in it.
Chris Farley was getting rave reviews in Chicago. And in New York, these notices got the attention of SNL's creator and executive producer, Lorne Michaels.
Fucking Lorne.
So in 1990, Chris Farley got the call to join the big leagues.
You brought him
Phil Hartman too, Sag, dude. Phil Hartman's story is even way sadder. Jesus Christ, bro. Hartman's story is heartbreaking.
To New York, and I was living in New York. I'll never forget Chris coming out to audition. And he was still like...
Fuck Andy Dick. No, that's such a ridiculous take, bro. I honestly think that is one of the most ludicrous takes, that people blame Andy Dick for the fucking death of Phil Hartman. That is insane, bro. That is actually fucking insane. He gave Phil, okay, just for those of you who don't know, Phil Hartman's wife was a fucking nutcase, a fucking psychopath, right? And Phil Hartman didn't want to divorce her because they had kids, all right? So Phil basically would spend all fucking week in Catalina on his boat, right? And away from her. And because she was an aspiring actress, Phil was going to help her out by trying to get her a role on one of his shows. And he did. He got her a bunch of roles. But then there was a show called The Phil Hartman Show that was supposed to happen. It was like a fucking, I don't know. It was like a sketch show with Phil Hartman. And she was supposed to play the wife in The Phil Hartman Show. Okay. For whatever reason, the show doesn't happen. She's super broken up about it, right? And she is really upset that Phil doesn't want to do this show, and she like holds this against him and basically thinks that Phil has ruined her chance to like go do something meaningful, right? Phil then goes on to do a show that not many of you will remember, but it was a very successful show called News Radio. And Phil was the main character in News Radio. Obviously, you'll recognize a lot of comedic faces in this show, including Joe fucking Rogan. You heard me? So this show was very successful, very successful. And Phil was America's sweetheart. He was getting gigantic roles. Right before he died, he did a little movie called Toy Soldiers that had a gigantic budget and paid him a ton of money. Same thing with Jingle All the Way. He has one of the great small appearances in a movie ever in Jingle All the Way. He's fucking incredible in it. So she's really pissed that his career is like firing on all cylinders, and she perceives that he doesn't want to fucking be with her, right? He's also on The Simpsons. He's in Catalina most of the time on his boat. So anyway, she is like a psychopath, and she is an addict. And one night she knows Andy Dick through News Radio, right? Because he's one of Hartman's friends. And she hits up Dick, and she's old friends with him. And she's like, hey, let's hang out. And they do cocaine together, right? So that is why people blame Andy Dick, because Andy Dick apparently gave her cocaine, right? She goes back to the house and she fucking kills Phil Hartman, murders him. And then she calls Andy Dick and is like, I just killed Phil Hartman. And he is like, what? You have to call the cops. What the fuck is happening? So the cops get called. They show up. She locks herself in the room, and as they are getting the kids out of the house, she blows her brains out. Now, a lot of people to this day, and not just people memeing in chat, I think a lot of people meme in chat, but a lot of people to this day still blame Andy Dick for her murdering Phil Hartman execution style after doing some cocaine. And to that I say, what? That is insane to me. Like, let me put it this way. The majority, I'm going to say this, the majority, maybe not the majority, but a lot of your parents, if they lived through the 80s, probably did cocaine once, right? A lot of your parents probably did cocaine in the 80s, and they didn't kill anybody. That's all I will say.
I don't think he ever thought that it was going to happen.
What the fuck? What happened to my sound?
Would you like to see some impressions?
Huh? Oh, that wasn't working. Hang on, please.
Of SNL's creator and executive producer.
He learned.
Would you
What
like
the-
to see some impressions or characters?
He did an audition.
Frequency 1 is the repellent mode.
Sorry about that.
Of SNL. These notices got the attention of SNL's
Sorry about that stun lock.
creator and executive producer, Lorne Michaels. So in 1990, Chris Farley got the call to join the big leagues.
He brought him out to New York, and I was living in New York. I'll never forget Chris coming out to audition. And he was still...
Andy Dick was recently arrested on live stream from sexual battery. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Andy Dick is a psycho, right? He's not a good dude. But blaming him for Phil Hartman's murder is different than saying that he's a bad dude, right?
Still, like, I don't think he ever thought that it was going to happen.
Would you like to see some impressions or characters?
Oh my God. That is one of the best SNL auditions ever.
Did an audition.
Frequency 1 is the repellent mode.
There's Phil right there. By the way, I see a lot of Hassan Abers here.
You know, you hear people like, and they see audition tapes from SNL from all these other cast members.
Okay, up, down.
Chris never had to do that. Lauren just had him going around that day meeting people.
All right.
Okay. Then the call came like...
Will, first time in the stream, I gotta say your feed is cute.
Will, hi chat. Love to you all.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you.
No, this is your life now.
Following that not quite audition, Farley, along with Chris Rock and Julia Sweeney, was announced as the newest cast member.
Bro, what a fucking addition to the SNL cast. This might be one of the strongest incoming classes that SNL ever had, if not the strongest. All three of them were fucking juggernauts.
As a new recruit at Saturday Night Live, Farley quickly ingratiated himself with his fellow cast members and writers.
You want to be on the show?
Oh my God! Granitz, thank you for the 5. That's a lot of dweez.
Yes! Well, let's do it! I am! Do it harder!
This was the original Camp Canute right here.
It's all right. You're on the show. It's a good feeling, right? Yeah.
It's almost impossible to dislike him.
Farley distinguished himself early on, in drag as the most volatile member of the Gap Girls,
These fries are good.
And I live in a van down by the river.
in Midwestern plaid suit and tie as his Second City transplant, Matt Foley,
Hey, watch backs, please. Coming through.
For those of you just joining us, we're watching a documentary on the troubled life of Chris Farley. Your drag is better? Well, I mean, of course. Yeah! Oh my gosh.
Has raid.
What a raid.
Has raid.
Oh yeah, wow.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Hey now, you fucking slags.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Hassan's community. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Poku.
For a lot of you, this won't be your first time here. For some of you, it will be. To those people, my name's Will Neff. I am the co-host of a very popular podcast, Fear End.
Chris less than.
And I'm also Hassan's friend and sometimes sexual partner.
Will.
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it tonight. I'm doing an early stream that will end at around 9 because I'm gonna go do a escape room. It's a little early stream for me. I'm gonna be doing some React content tonight. We're 7 minutes into a video about Chris Farley. All you've missed is them establishing who Chris Farley is. I'm a big Farley fan. So if you want to stick around, that'd be cool. If you don't, I get it. But make sure you go check out the podcast.
THX for helping me through COVID and pregnancy.
Oh, you're welcome. Also, just one other thing I'd like to shout out. I have a new show on my channel that debuted last week. It's called Hey Donna. Maybe we can watch a little clip of that. Hassan was on the show last week. It was pretty good. Let me pull up a little clip. Why don't we? So if you've ever seen Name Your Price, I'm sure a lot of you are aware of that show. It's on after Name Your Price. It's a G4 show. And I basically interview different people and then also take calls from you, the community. We take live calls. If you fill out a form, I will basically give you my own comedic version of Chad Vice. Cutie Cinderella is my guest host. And this week, we have an incredible episode. Cutie will be back from her sickness. And also, our guest will be the amazing adult entertainer and artist, Mia Malkova. So she will be there with me helping answer your questions. Here's a little clip from the show. If you haven't seen it, this is what it looks like. Take a look.
Oh, Jesus.
Hello, it's 2022, and you got Donna.
Donna, slow it down a bit.
Strong start.
Is this Dan Egan? Is this little son of a bitch who lives down the road? Can you hear me? If you prank call me again, I'm gonna come to your house.
Donna, don't do that. Donna.
Hello?
Donna. Please. Okay, Donna.
If you met this kid, Dan Egan, you'd want to kick his ass too. All right? He's very big for a 12-year-old.
Donna.
What are you laughing at? Can we get our next call? And I swear...
No, please don't.
Hello? I'm giving advice to anybody but Dan Egan. I am coming to your family's Thanksgiving.
Donna.
I am going to seduce your father.
Okay,
and
brought you a laugh. Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, so that was not scripted. Dan Egan's a kid I grew up with. It was the first thing that came to my mind. That was not scripted. The whole show is improv, and basically our phone broke. And that is why I started improvising that. And the first thing that came to my head was a kid I grew up with who used to prank call people. So if you want to see more of Donna, it's a very ambitious project. It takes a lot out of me, and it's very daunting to do 2 hours of improvised content like that. But it's a labor of love. It's right here on this channel. I want to do more, character-based content, more formal shows on this platform. I think this show has this platform has an amazing potential to have more formally produced stuff. So if you think the same way, please stop by even for a minute to support Donna. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you, Northbound Train. Wait, even the Dan Egan gag was improv? That's brilliant. Yeah, so the reason that happened was when I pick up the phone, it's supposed to link to a call, but they couldn't link the calls to the phone, so they were playing them through the room speakers, and they hadn't figured that out, so they accidentally dropped 2 calls in a row instead of putting them through. And so I just was trying to pay that off, that this kid was just calling me and leaving dead air instead of admitting that our show was in its first episode and that it was broken. But yeah, the entire show is improv and there's no script whatsoever. In fact, that was a big sticking point with G4. It's very funny. Most of our shows have teleprompters that have a lot of brilliant people writing for them. And my teleprompter is the same writing all show. It says intro, bring on guest, take calls, horoscope, take calls, end. Like that was what was on the prompter the entire time. So that's how much direction I have. But yeah, please come and support. Anyway, I know a lot of you will leave, but thanks for stopping by. Even if you are leaving, go ahead and throw a follow. You might want to hang out with me late night sometime when you don't have anybody else to watch. With that being said, we're going to get back into this Chris Farley documentary. I'm a giant Farley fan, and so this is very interesting to me. If you've never heard of Chris Farley, he's probably one of the great comedic talents ever. Thank you so much, Parker Ann, for those 5 subs. That's juicy. 6K subs, Will goes blonde. That is true. If I get 6K subs by Wednesday, I will go blonde. Is that why your dog is named Farley? It is. Yep, some people put that together. My dog is named after Chris Farley.
And as an awkward, insecure, naive version of himself, as the Chris Farley of the Chris Farley shows.
These interviews are some of my favorite things he ever did. Mr. Pants Show, thank you so much.
Segments.
You remember that?
He was literally bringing it up to another level because he was being who he was.
Writers were actually...
I mentioned this to everybody in chat. Chris Kattan, a lot of people ask whatever happened to Chris Kattan. Chris Kattan was brilliantly funny. Unfortunately, he very badly injured his back on SNL, and it forever affected his performance, apparently, from that point forward. Thank you for those bits.
He was being who he was.
Writers were actually...
Party Dude Mikey, thank you.
Zeroing in on the essence of Chris. Like, maybe if he was talking about, like, oh, nobody wants...
Hey, just wondering, is Donna inspired by Coffee Talk? It is, certainly. Coffee Talk is one of the inspirations. I also had a grandmother, Grandma Mary. My grandparents died before I was born. So one of my mom's friends was an elderly Italian lady named Mary who would watch me a lot on weekends. And she literally sounded like this, I one thing I remember is kind of her incessant need to always feed me. And I always loved that. My mom would bring me over, and my mom was a flight attendant, so she was always kind of on the run. She'd be like, "Did you feed this kid, Julie? He looks like he's starving. I'm going to make some meatballs." And she's like, "Mary, we got to leave in like 20 minutes. No! 20 minutes. It's gonna take me 30 seconds. Let me whip together some meatballs."
Oh, that's for a cool.
Mary, he ate an hour ago. An hour ago? He's growing. He needs to eat every 10 minutes. What are you talking about? Thank you for those bits. I appreciate you.
Was hooked with Hey Donna as soon as I saw
Yeah.
it. It reminds me of Between Two Ferns
Yep.
with how uncomfortable Donna makes the guest.
That is
Best
true.
Content is best content.
Thank you so much. And then, like 40 minutes later, she'd be done with the meatballs, and my mom would be like, "Mary, thank you for we really have to go." She'd be like, "What, you gonna make him eat meatballs without any sauce? I'm just simmering some sauce. The sauce will be done in like 30 seconds. Another hour goes by. All right, the sauce is done. Yeah. So I miss my grandma Mary, and she was a big influence on my life. Also, I had an au pair named Christine, who was a very tough Italian lady as well, and she would drive around in her truck, and she always had the Dunkin' Donuts coffee in one hand and like Newport cigarettes in the other, and she'd be driving with her knees listening to Guns N' Roses, and I fucking loved her as well. And those are probably two of the most impactful people on my upbringing, were these, tough as nails, brilliant New Yorker women that left such an impression on me.
Or whatever, I'm so stupid.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
So stupid.
He had a quality that most cast members don't, which is instant likability.
My dad's mayor! Farley! Ice skating. Oh my God.
Yes.
I mean, that sketch where he was skating, holy shit.
There was something about Chris that made people like him and want to root for him.
Can't we just hire them both?
This is like one of the most viral sketches of all time, right? Like this was viral before they had the internet to make something, the virality of something possible. This is just a sketch that lives in infamy.
No. Chippendales was Swayze, you know? He wasn't afraid.
Everyone's watching.
Coming to see what you will do.
If you're into this kind of documentary stuff, you should check out Dark Side of the Ring if you've never seen it.
Oh, I have. Dark Side of the Ring's great.
I'm pretty sure only his fourth focused on wrestling.
Dark Side of the Ring is great. I've watched a lot of them.
Episode on the show, the Chippendale sketch proved Farley's breakout.
To see what you will do.
Okay, the acoustic version of Working for the Weekend is absolutely percolating my nipples right now. I feel like you could use it in a Key and Peele trailer. If you added like something dramatic, you know, like, everyone's wondering, will it come out tonight?
It showcased his intensity and his unlikely athleticism.
Everyone's looking at you.
Ooh.
As hilarious as the Chippendale sketch was, it also touched on some of Farley's deepest insecurities.
I remember when he called me and said, the writers want me to take my shirt off with Patrick Swayze and do this sketch. And
dude, Patrick Swayze was so fucking hot. This guy was like the pinnacle of 90s hot. Look at how big his hair is. Look at that mullet. God, he's hot.
I think I'm afraid they're going to be making fun of me. And I said, what do you think? I said, well, if you could be the funniest fat guy ever, be the funniest fat guy ever.
True.
This is Woodstock 94. That's when Chris and I co-hosted Woodstock 94.
Wow.
That's always good.
Dude, Woodstock 94, also known as the Mud Bowl. Dude, if you haven't seen the documentary on Woodstock 99 yet, holy shit. Woodstock 99, the documentary Trainwreck, is fucking insane.
And this is something that, I mean, this is from
Thank you,
movie Codeheads.
Wheel the Thrill.
Pictures I can't show you because of the nudity.
Chris definitely had an issue with his weight. We all did. By making people laugh, he sensed they would overlook some of his faults or his, you know, his.
What's it called? It's called Trainwreck.
Clearly.
Woodstock 24? No, Woodstock 94. There were 3 Woodstocks. The first Woodstock was a rousing success, right? The first Woodstock is the one we all remember. Peace, love, unity, Jimi Hendrix. Wow, 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 wow. All that shit. 94, right, was actually really good. The performances were really good. It's remembered kindly, but there was so much rain that it became like a mud bowl. And the rain was so bad that the majority of the fences came down. So like half the audience got into 94 for free. And so they viewed 94 as like a really bad financial failure. So 99, like it was like a perfect storm where they were trying to capitalize on Woodstock and make a ton of money. You got to watch the documentary. It's an absolute fucking shit show. The festival is on a fucking military base, and like they wouldn't let people even bring in water, and then their public water system had shit in it. It's fucking nuts.
He needed the laughter in such a way that I had never really seen before. You're doing comedy to get that response, but there was something different with him. It was like breathing. He needed it more than anybody else.
Yeah, people got trench mouth from the water.
Prominent social media influencer and Twitch streamer.
Yep.
He's pretty famous for his live streams on his Twitch channel. Currently, he has over 300K followers on Twitch.
Is that my fucking Wikipedia article?
I think that getting the laugh is the greatest addiction that there is, because it's your job to get the laughs, right? And at the same time, it feels good.
So good.
We all want to feel good. We want to feel good over and over and over and over again.
Chris Farley was always the life of the party. He was the kind of wild and crazy guy you just wanted to have a beer with.
When I came onto the show, we all knew that Chris partied harder than anybody.
Yep.
Chris was savvy enough and smart enough to keep it away from the show for as long as he could.
Everybody knew that he had a problem, and we were just like kind of like all hoping for the best.
Farley's friends and family noticed that his partying was becoming a problem, and they had made
Christ.
attempts to get him to clean up his act.
Okay, well,
Wild and crazy guy, that's a reference to another SNL sketch. Just two wild and crazy guys. I think that was an Aykroyd sketch.
we got this. We'll solve this, though we had no idea how to do that. So our interventions were bad. You know, Chris was just, like a lot of addicts, just kind of...
And Steve Martin. Yeah, Aykroyd and Martin.
...it all, just to save his job. It wasn't about being sober. It was about, okay, I'm just going to make people happy.
At that point, Chris was drying out, using again, drying out, and using again.
By the time Farley returned to SNL for his second season,
Andy Milanake, yes. Everybody go follow Andy. He's on my amazing improv cartoon show that we do live, and it was so good that no one actually thought it was live. It's called Doodles, and it's coming back soon.
things were escalating.
Are you enjoying Grease, man? I think you're over in Grease right now, right?
There was a very specific day that I remember.
Oh, shit.
We had all gotten to read through. You know, outside of doing the show live, that was the most stressful part of the week. And
bro, I can only imagine how stressful being on Saturday Night Live actually would have been during that time, right? Because like now no one fucking watches. Who cares if the show sucks? But like back then, everybody in the fucking United States of America would watch every week. Can you imagine, bro, that kind of pressure? You're like the most popular sketch show in history at that point, and you have 1 week to prepare every week for the, I mean, like that's got to be, you got to write fucking, you know, create the set elements, create the outfits, get in the characters, and what, that would have been nuts.
And then somebody at some point said, okay, we're taking a break. Everybody come back in an hour.
Oh no, Farley came back
Went out
wrecked.
to the lobby, and I remember seeing David Spade, and he's like, hey, you want to go to McDonald's? And I was like, yeah, let's go to McDonald's. At McDonald's in the basement of 30 Rock.
Nice.
So we get on the elevator.
Probably still there.
Elevator doors close, and we're just going down. And the elevator doors open, and we see Chris. And Chris was not right.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's so tough.
Roseanne came in at a time women weren't really known for stand-up.
What is this?
And she came in, balls out, not afraid to say what's on her mind.
From the network that brought you, is it
he had a harder time keeping it
What? Why did that just lapse into a fucking Roseanne thing?
secret.
The elevator doors open, and we see Chris. Chris had obviously done something major, some major drug.
Something major. Dude, I got to remember that for the next time I re-up with my dealer. Hey, yo, what are you picking up, man? Something major.
Going to take a really good guess and say that it was heroin.
God damn, dude.
And when you say not right, what do you mean?
I mean that his whole body was just kind of like he had just really...
Dude, and when you're that big a human and you're fucking sweating at your fucking mind away, it's so hard to cover up the fact that you're absolutely torched.
Really slowed down, and he was just like, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm so sorry, you're gonna be so mad at me. And we're like, we're not mad at you, and he kind of fell into me. David's looking at me, and I look at him, and he was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And then he was like, well, maybe if we can just get him to his office, as if we were going to hide him and protect him from the rest of the world, which is so insane. And so we're on the elevator.
Jesus Christ, man. They didn't even take him to the McDonald's.
Go back up to 8H, and the elevator doors open.
Oh, shit.
And we look out and we see a few people, you know, some of the other producers, and David was like, nope, let's take him back down. The elevator doors close.
Oh my God.
We go back down. The elevator doors open.
Lauren?
Who is standing there? None other than Lorne Michaels.
Oh, fuck.
So Chris sees Lorne standing there, and he's like, Lorne, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're gonna fire me, Lorne? Please don't fire me. Please don't fire me. I promise I won't do it again. And, you know, Lorne just stands there. And up until this point, I had really felt like that's my boss.
Holy shit.
I want to do right by him. I want to be validated by him. He was my boss. But in this moment, and I'll never forget it as long as I live, I literally saw him transition from boss to a father. And he was like, Chris, stop. I love you. We've got to get you some help.
Fuck.
He took a quote-unquote break from the show. And I think it was absolutely the most responsible thing that Lorne could have engineered.
And they sent him to a place in Alabama, very stripped down, bare bones, and that was the beginning of 3 years of sobriety for Chris.
Wow.
The neat thing was when he came back, he went to a sober living house on the Lower East Side, and he would go be on national television and then afterwards check in and, you know, go to bed on a cot, and he really was working his recovery.
I'm not drunk!
Even when he was clean and sober, Farley still seemed willing to indulge sketches and jokes that were seemingly made at his expense.
The relapse guy? Oh, come on, dude. I've never seen this sketch. I have never seen this sketch. I have watched Farley my entire life. I have never seen the relapse guy. Jesus Christ, bro. No wonder they buried this one. Holy fuck.
Made at his expense. One such sketch, called Relapse Guy, poked fun at Farley's personal struggles, but it also spoke to the low expectations his colleagues had. People were expecting Chris Farley to fail, and he wanted to prove them wrong.
Chris was a person that...
Will, the latest Fear and was so good? It was so good. Especially that fucking bonus content.
was always on, whether the camera was on or off, and he had his buddies. You know, he had Sandler and Schneider and David Spade and Tim Meadows and Chris Rock, and I love all of those guys, but I always felt like that they were sort of like the security.
That cast is crazy.
Blanket for him. They were buddies. You know, they were tight.
Mark it, David.
Mark it? Gotcha. 525, that's it.
Oh, this is on this is Tommy Boy.
That's it.
In an effort to keep one of SNL's banner stars on the straight and narrow, Lorne Michaels offered another major incentive.
But I'm sitting around as soon as I find out he wants to buy something.
That's okay, you're great up till there.
Sorry.
Tommy Boy.
Dude, so good. That's when I start acting like JoJo, the Indian circus boy with a pretty new pet. And I love it, and I stroke it, and I massage it, and oh, I killed it. I can still probably do that entire movie by memory.
Wow, that's very cool.
So, you know, cemented.
I have not seen Tommy Boy yet, dude. It is one of the quintessential comedy films ever. It's so good. It's like every dumb comedy you've ever seen, but done by like the masters of dumb comedy. Like, it is dumb comedy taken to its fucking logical limit.
Chris as Chris Farley.
Tells us, you know, Toronto's #3 in traffic. Who cares? Well,
Welcome to #1 New York. Take care, I gotta make calls.
Tommy Boy premiered at #1 at the box office, proving Farley was a bankable movie star. But back in New York,
please watch a Farley film on stream. We watched Black Sheep.
Weren't so sunny. Between 1994 and
I can get a good look at a steak by sticking my head up a butcher's ass. No, wait. Ugh. I can get a good look at a butcher by sticking my head up his ass. Dang it.
1995, SNL was suffering.
The show had gone into a complete, death spiral in terms of quality. It had just gotten in such a bad place that it just needed to be rebooted from the ground up.
Comments about the writing, criticism, and so forth.
Right?
Peter Siegel.
Okay.
Comments just about
Everything.
Yeah, I'm not answering that. Fuck you.
Saturday Night Live was very passive-aggressive. No one was actually fired. They just weren't invited back.
Having been unceremoniously released from his contract.
Holy shit, here's LA. Why are they showing LA?
A sober Farley set out to LA. Hot on the heels of Tommy Boy's success, he felt he could make it as a movie star.
But he also had that adrenaline, that sense of affirmation he was getting on a constant basis.
Well, it hasn't changed me one iota. You know, a lot of times...
He moved to LA and that stopped. Then there were 6 months where he had nothing to do. And that's when the roller coaster up and down really started.
I wasn't a sober coach. Yeah, he had sober coaches, but I was his friend who was sober, who helped him, as we do. It's a selfish thing, really. You help other people because it helps you.
I really credit Tom for, saving Chris for just a little time.
Being smack in the spotlight as opposed to part of SNL's ensemble cast also wreaked havoc on his insecurities. This was especially true when his movies didn't live up to expectations. Take Black Sheep, another Farley Spade road movie.
This stunk.
Yes.
Chris Farley is not funny.
No.
I knew John Belushi. I knew John Candy. He's no John Belushi or John Candy.
What a fucking piece of shit, dude. What a son of a bitch, dude. Bro, movie critics can't stand them.
The
fucking Siskel.
insecurity that he felt and the anxiety was coming back, and it was really bad. And he had no...
Listen, is Black Sheep as good as Tommy Boy? No. Is Black Sheep a very transparent effort to just recreate Tommy Boy slightly different? Yes. But it's not as bad as all that. It's a funny movie.
No one to rely on and no one to trust. And so he fell back to using it again.
Do you think that David Spade and Chris Farley are the new emerging comedy team for the 90s?
I don't know about that.
It wasn't long before Farley's...
Yes?
No shit from anyone.
Have you heard the audio of Chris Farley as Shrek?
I have. It's haunting. It's haunting to hear people say, like, imagine the Shrek franchise with Farley at the helm. Like, that is haunting.
Private struggles became headline news.
Some people are saying, what? The original choice for Shrek was Chris Farley. And he recorded all of the audio before he died. He recorded the entire film. And then he died, and they replaced him with Michael Myers. But there are a lot of people that hold to that even though Michael Myers put on an absolutely amazing performance, Farley's performance was different, but maybe, comparable or even better. There's only like one scene that still exists where he's talking to Donkey. Yeah, we can watch that later. If someone can link it, here it is. All right, we'll watch it. Very quiet. Hold on. So here's one of Chris Farley's scenes that finally leaked of him as Shrek.
Man, there's nothing like a fire and a noble romantic mission to warm the cockles of your heart.
Also, you'll notice that the design for Shrek was slightly different at this point.
Yeah. I like my cockles room temperature, thank you very much.
Hey, if you're not doing this for cockle warming, why are you doing it?
Simple.
Fartwad gets his princess, I get what I want.
Which is? Now, come on, what do you want?
I don't have time to set it to music.
Oh, this is another one of those onion things.
No, this is one of those drop it and leave me alone things.
Well, why don't you want to talk about it?
Why do you want to talk about it?
Well, why are you answering the question with a question?
Why are you asking questions I don't want to answer?
Why are you blocking?
I'm not blocking.
Then why do you have problems expressing your wants?
I don't. I want you to shut up. See? No problem.
You're just displacing your anger.
Believe me, it's properly placed.
You're really mad at whoever did this to you.
No one did anything to me.
Yes. Someone hurt you so bad. Someone hurt you many years ago.
Leave my parents out of this.
Breakthrough. Let's go with that. Let's explore family origin. Were you hugged as a child, Shrek?
All right. I want a home. And someone to share it with. Okay?
Yes, Shrek. It's okay.
And Farquaad said he'd give me my own swamp in exchange for the princess.
You really think you can trust that Weasley oil rag, don't you?
Yeah, right. But now I'm gonna have what he wants.
Boy, has he underestimated you.
Yeah, he can join the club. People see me and they go, "Ah! Help! A big, stupid, stinky, smelly, ugly ogre! I'm so scared!" And they judge me before they even know me. My folks always told me that everyone loves ogres.
I see.
So, I guess they were a little overprotective.
A little?
That's why I gotta do this. I want them to know I can take care of myself.
You want to make them proud.
Yeah.
You know what? When we met, I didn't think he was just a big, stupid, ugly ogre.
I know.
Night, Shrek.
Night, doggy.
Yeah, there you go. So I think he recorded the entire film, and that is like one of the few scenes that leaked. A lot of you are saying like, oh, I immediately prefer Myers Shrek. Obviously, Myers is an amazing, sketch and improv comedian as well. Like he's no slouch. You know what I mean? They didn't replace him with some bum. And I think his job of doing Shrek was incredible. But I think it's really hard to compare the two and like weigh them, especially because you just listen to an unrendered piece of audio over a few like hand-drawn sketches. It's a totally different experience.
It all came to a head during the 1997 grand opening party of a Planet Hollywood in Indianapolis.
So the Planet Hollywood relapse was just one of many relapses, and there were dozens of others just like it. That one just happened to be the first one caught on camera.
There was a Planet Hollywood that opened up. Oh, he was so f***ed up.
But again, don't make it seem as though that I think Myers did a bad job. I think Myers did a tremendous job.
Maybe it's Indianapolis because he drank milk. He dumped milk on himself.
Oh,
God. He had 500. For some reason, they drink milk after that race.
The Planet Hollywood debacle showed the whole world just how far gone Farley was.
Oh, no.
But he still had friends and family looking out for him. And little did he know.
Bro, he is sweaty. These are some sweaty balls right here.
They were all conspiring to try and save his life.
He aimed to please the owners of the Planet Hollywoods, all the fans there. I'll tell you what, he aimed to please everybody.
Roseanne came in at a time women weren't really...
Why do they keep plugging this Roseanne thing?
Lorne Michaels, the executive producer of SNL, had seen this story play out tragically once before with one of Saturday Night Live.
So for the Zoomers, this is Belushi. Belushi, other than Farley, is considered the great fat guy. You know, he and Candy are considered like the two great comedic fat guys in history. And he was on SNL like way long ago. He was like 70s. And he iconically did one of like the most important comedic movies ever, in my opinion, which is Animal House. Animal House paved the way for like Step Brothers and unfortunately a movie called Porky's and Like basically all the modern frat pack movies that you enjoy, like Belushi started that shit. He also was in a movie called Blues Brothers, and he was kind of like the iconic cast member at that time.
First superstars.
They saw what can happen, you know, if you just let it run it.
Porky's is incredible. You know, I went back and finally watched Porky's again. I watched it as a very young man. I don't know if Porky's holds up, dude. I don't know if Porky's holds up. It's pretty rough. It's pretty fucking rough, dude. But it's interesting because Porky's is one of the highest grossing films in proportion to its cost ever. And it's almost worth watching Porky's from like an academic standpoint. But it is rough, man. There is a lot of very disparaging use of the N-word. There is some very like rough. The movie is just rough. It's pretty fucking rough.
Of course.
As a member of Saturday Night Live's inaugural cast, John Belushi...
Isn't it rapey?
Oh, yeah.
He was Chris Farley's comic idol.
It was the fact that a fat guy could look cool and be funny. And
sounds like it didn't age well at all. Listen, are there pieces of Porky's that are still funny? Yes. Is Porky's a product of a very regressive, sex-oppressed, still pretty racist era? Yes. Is the character in the movie a racist who realizes kind of like an arc where he becomes less racist by the end of the film? Yes. But it's still, it is very chippy around the edges. It's tough. It's tough to watch with like a girlfriend or like a mom. It did not age well. No.
Talented.
Because he can't do the show. Listen, he was in dress rehearsal.
Example clip? No. Fuck no.
Asked Danny to go out and do the opening. Belushi is just not ready.
Belushi had his own history of erratic behavior and drug use, and SNL's earliest writers weren't afraid to poke fun at these issues. In addition to being a young Farley's hero, Belushi was a model for the Wild Man comic.
Watch Party? No. If you want to watch Porky's, you can watch Porky's on your own. Listen, there's nothing about that movie that is worth teaching other than that it is a complete rebuke to like sexual repression in the media at the time. And young people were so horny and degenerate that it's one of the best performing movies ever because the media was so repressed.
But whiskey led to cocaine and eventually heroin, setting one of SNL's earliest stars down a path.
And that is the Chateau Marmont, if I remember correctly. He died at the Chateau Marmont.
Of doom and self-destruction.
You're keenly aware that life is fragile, and once you start going down a particular path, that path is...
It's also extremely anti-Semitic. They make a point about the guy not being an anti-Semite by the end, but dude, at some points, bro, he is dropping the K word like he is trying to, bring it back into favor. It was nuts, bro. I watched this movie like 3 months ago and I was like, fucking shit.
Full of landmines.
It was a tragic story that should have served as a cautionary tale. Instead, it was playing out like a rerun.
He wanted to be John Belushi to the point where he even romanticized the idea of overdosing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I know I'm being a pausing piker, but this in particular, I get this. I as someone who dealt with like manic depression, glorifying or like fantasizing about your death is something you do when you're in like such a fucking bad place, right? And I think for a lot of people, whenever I talk about like, he romanticized Belushi's death, I see people like physically unable of contextualizing that or like understanding. They're like, that sounds so weird. But I think when you are so sad, death seems like such a release. And so you start to, the thing I say that I always did, which was so weird as a young kid, is I would always think about the playlist at my funeral. And I was always like, oh, that's a great one for my funeral. Like, dude, when I play Adam's Room by Blink-182, they're going to fucking understand, man.
He just, like, overdosed. He's gone. I don't know.
And if it seems like I am making light of this, I am doing so because I think it's important. I went through this stuff. I don't mean to trivialize depression or manic depression. I'm someone who lived through it. I make humor out of a lot of things, but people on this channel, I know a lot of you are probably new because you're with the Hassan Raid, but I'm very open about my depression and my previous struggles with mental health. And so I think by being as candid as I am, I hope that opens up some of you who are experiencing those same struggles to go get help or to be proactive about seeking help or improving your situation, because I am a walking, talking example of how being open and honest about your feelings and exhausting the avenues that are there for improving your mental health really do work. So if you are one of those people, I'm not trying to make light of your situation. I'm trying to tell you that I am one of you, and go get some help because it does help.
It's kind of cool. Something kind of cool about it. And we would all just go, no, Chris.
5 seconds. Here it comes. 4, 3, 2.
Take.
In an effort to stop Farley from following Belushi to an early grave, Lorne Michaels made a deal with Farley's managers.
I think you just saved my life. Thank you. Man, that's a lot to put on me. But if you're being honest and you are struggling with something, dude, feel free to hang out here, but definitely go seek therapy and help and exhaust all those avenues, because it really does help, man. I promise.
Back to Saturday Night Live, this time as a host.
I saw on the board that Chris Farley's coming. That'd be fantastic. He's a legend.
I think that his managers really pushed it. I think they saw it as an opportunity. It's like, this is what we got to pounce now. We got to show Chris as the great comic that he is, and how best to do that than put him front and center on stage 8H.
This is Studio 8H, Saturday Night Live. This kicks out another 15 feet.
So for those of you who aren't really familiar with Saturday Night Live, and particularly Saturday Night Live during that era, as a cast member, going back and hosting Saturday Night Live is like this. It is like this almost like ceremonial acknowledgement that you have like transcended SNL and that you've become like a transcendent comedic humor. Just for some contents.
There's about 375 people, and sometime in the next 2 days we're going to put a show on.
Comedy 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
He loved the show. He loved the atmosphere. He thrived in that environment. So it would be good for him.
It means you made it, exactly.
Psychologically, career-wise, to come back.
Like having your jersey retired, that is a perfect comparison.
But getting there to 11:30 Eastern Time, Saturday Night Live, can kill you.
He had nothing to promote. There was not a cultural moment of why.
My company won't send people into cover time off. They expect us to work our life away for 5 figures a year and no help. I'm losing hope. Therapy will not make me content with my life. Yeah, but it can help give you the tools to start finding contentment, right? I think when you're depressed, I'm sorry that I'm pausing, but that definitely seemed like a cry for help. I think when you're depressed, everything can start to look like a trap, and everything starts to feel very hopeless. And when you're depressed, you definitely give into that hopelessness. But I think the amazing thing about life is it's never hopeless. Truly, like there's always a way to move forward. And therapy is not a cure-all, but it is a way to help unburden yourself and just give you some perspective, man. It's like how people end up in really bad relationships with significant others that are abusive. It's like they're too close to the situation. They can't see it for what it is. They can't see a world where they are outside that abuse and that cycle of abuse. And depression can do the same thing for your like life situation. You know what I mean? So, even if you think therapy won't help, it can, or it can give you the tools to maybe seek other treatments that will help you. But the best piece of advice I can give you is like never stop raging against the dying of the light. Like work your ass off, do whatever you can Never give up. Never get complacent. There's a better life out there. Trust me.
Why you would have Chris there. The sole reason to bring him back was to try and help him.
I think Lauren was watching out for him a little bit. I got that sense.
Over the course of 47 years, the architecture of the week of Saturday Night Live has really changed minimally. It started in 1975 in a way that has worked, particularly for Lauren.
So Monday, the guest host arrives to 30 Rock to meet with the cast and writers.
And so sometimes hopelessness is an objective truth and not a symptom of depression. Listen, you're a first-time chatter. I'm still gonna help you out here. That's the words of someone who's addicted to depression. Deadass. And I know that feeling, right? There's something very sickly sweet about being sad where you don't have to try, because trying means you have to put yourself out there and you might fail. And you can get I hate to quote this piece of shit song, but you can get addicted to a certain type of sadness because it's almost like the cool kids club, right? It's like, why would I try? Everything's hopeless. Everything's shit. Smoke a cigarette. Suck your own dick. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I've been there, right? Where you think that anybody who's happy or is in preaching improvement or like positivity is a fucking sap. You know what I mean? They're like, they don't fucking get it. They haven't seen the real face of the world. Everything's garbage, bro. Fuck. Like, I was there, bro. I listened to My Chemical Romance too. So, you know, it's like you can think that way and that can become your reality. But I think the amazing thing about life is it's a fucking simulation. Make it whatever you want, bro. You know what I mean? Like, there are some people who have literally nothing that are the happiest people on the fucking planet. Break your reality to what the fuck you want it to be. Reality is a lot more pliable than you think it is. So is your mind. So you can fucking kick down the walls and do whatever you want. But don't think that sadness and hopelessness is the abject truth, because there is no abject truth. We're all fucking monkeys on a space rock. None of this really exists. This is all fucking illusion. Thank you, Dougs.
Ends every Monday morning in New York City.
Appreciate you.
Scripts, no sets, and organized chaos.
Well, you're in a pitch meeting on Monday night. The guest host sits in front of Lawrence's desk, and Lawrence sits behind his desk, and he's like, Charlie's throwing everybody.
When I first saw Chris on the Monday he showed up, it was really great. I walk into the 17th floor where Lorne Michaels' office is, and Chris sees me and goes, God damn it, Hugh Fink! And he runs over to me and like gives me a big hug.
This guy's name is Hugh Fink? What? Dude, he sounds like a character from Atlas Shrugged. Oxage, thank you so much for the 5. And Anaconda, thank you.
From the moment he showed up, it was obvious that he wasn't holding it together. But I think everyone just held on to this sort of naive hope that since he was brought back to help him, the week would be the thing that pulled him together.
Everyone at SNL was excited to have Farley back. Little did they know that he had arrived in New York on the back end of an
Tens 94, thank you.
Child star.
This is a crazy story how we met.
Oh no.
And there's a restaurant, a Thai restaurant called Toy. And
Leaf Garrett? Glass Onion, thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate you. And Motohawk36, thank you for the Prime.
Toy one night with a friend of mine, Chris Farley, sitting there with a bunch of porn actresses and strippers and stuff. And we hung out for a week, literally a week straight before he went off to go host Saturday Night Live. Chris spoke quite a lot.
Stevie, thank you so much.
Like, you know, he's got to like...
A week bender? Jesus Christ, man.
Got to slow down. He's got to go to New York.
The wages of partying with a washed-up teen idol and the anxiety of having to once again perform live were wearing on Farley in New York.
Tuesdays is the busiest, most pressured day for
Munch 88, thank you so much.
From Tuesday to Wednesday morning, you have to
Mirror Carpet, thank you.
Want to for the week.
That is crazy. Dude, again, like the schedule of Saturday Night Live is nuts. It's nuts.
Oh, that's for cool.
Cinnabon Jovi, thank you so much. Until you do live programming, like you don't realize the crunch. Big Ed Barnham, thank you so much. You don't realize how much this crunch feels like.
Tuesday night is the famous don't think about going home if you really want.
No wonder half the shit isn't funny. I mean, in this era, Bro, in this era, everybody in the world was watching Saturday Night Live. Now, I get it, Saturday Night Live fucking sucks. But in this era, I mean, you're talking about the fucking Chris Rock, Chris Farley, Tim Meadows, like Will Ferrell. Like, this era of SNL was fucking insane, dude.
Want to meet a cast member or a writer.
Sherry O'Terry. Like, dude, these casts were nuts.
At SNL, you might want to hang around.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald. You could go on forever. Everybody was fucking golden.
Trader Banks on Wednesday mornings when they're like...
Fucking Sarah Silverman was like a washout in this era. Tina Fey, nuts.
Really leaving after playing an all-nighter.
At least that's how it usually worked. On the Tuesday before the show, the writers...
The trans chick, Scotty, thank you.
Some reported scenes of total debauchery. Tumblers of vodka, strange women, a guard outside the door. For a show as regimented...
It's so corny. Listen, quickly, we're going to take a break. I think the reason that SNL is corny now is because you have to look at the way... So first of all, Saturday Night Live is like a parody show, right? It's a show that parodies live, like events that have happened, and it makes sketch comedy based on the zeitgeist of the United States and the world, right? When the internet became a thing and internet comedy became a thing and social media humor became a thing, there's no way for a scripted show, even as fast as Saturday Night Live is, to keep up with the internet. It's just impossible. So 50% of their sketches right off the bat are going to feel terribly dated, right? Like your dad catching on to Facebook 3 years after its fucking death. Right? There's just no way for SNL to compete with like social media humor in like the turnover and the timeline of creating, sketch and improv humor, right? Internet killed the video star, essentially, right? Also, I'm going to be honest, at one point, Saturday Night Live was almost like a necessary step for a lot of film and TV actors to establish themselves as funny people, right? It was a proving ground. Now, funny people 1,000% bypass Saturday Night Live and that stage and go right to making movies, right? Because you can have a fucking comedy special on Netflix, or you can have your viral TikTok give you a show somewhere and end up in movies. Bro, look at Aquafina. Aquafina did one fucking YouTube video where she ripped off Mickey Avalon and fucking Dirt Nasty's My Dick. And the next moment, she was one of the biggest female actors in the world, bro. In the world. Like that. So when you realize that comedic talent don't have to do SNL anymore, a lot of the comedic talent that do SNL now are people who just have a love for this shit, right? They might not actually be that like top tier blow through level talent, because that talent now totally bypasses this step. So I think those two factors have hamstringed SNL in a way that I don't think it will ever be as funny as it once was.
Night Live, the scenario was totally unusual.
We were going to do a Roxbury Guys, and they didn't choose it, and I don't know why. But I was like, oh my God, Farley is a Roxbury guy.
My wife called, and she said, when are you coming home type, thing. I'm like, it's Wednesday. I know Chris has been here since Monday because I know the routine, but I haven't heard from him. That was weird that he wouldn't call me up. I knew he was staying at the Waldorf, so I
by the way, thanks for the scam train, guys.
Hey, Tom, like really surprised. And he said, yeah, let's go over to SNL and then we'll have dinner or something like that. Like we get in this car and he goes, I got to pick up some friends. And he picks up these two girls.
Oh,
that,
God.
These aren't your friends.
Oh, my God.
Like, what are you doing? There was like an intern in the limo with us. Look at him.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh.
Friends.
Bro, I shouldn't laugh.
that.
But I am just imagining
These aren't your
a
friends.
fucking like
I'm like,
me at like
an intern.
me at like 19 years old working at BuzzFeed, or like 21 years old working at BuzzFeed, and like one of my superiors packing a car. Like, yeah, JHB team in a car that I just fucking pack with escorts, and just the palpable fear that JHB would be experiencing if I was like, yo, don't sweat it, Jay. I'm just picking up some friends. Tracy, Diamond, get in here. Yeah, daddy. Yo, he would make some fire ass tweets about it. He would make some fire ass tweets about it. Yo, hold on. I got to grab some water and pee. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. 45 seconds. Oh, yeah, wow. That's very cool. Stop coming! Bro. Chat, remember to hydrate. Tyler Spark, thank you for that 5 gifted while I'm not even here. All right, back to the intern.
Limo with us, and he's looking at me. I'm like, dude, this is your job. Like, I'm not babysitting tonight. So we go over to the offices on the 17th floor, and he brings him up to SNL, and it was just
no.
It was brutal.
He brought the escorts up to the SNL. Jesus Christ.
He was in a room in one of the meeting rooms with Tracy Morgan and Jimmy Brewer, and they are laughing the greatest laugh. They had got to whip themselves into a frenzy, coming up with ideas like what they're going to do this week for skits, and they were absolutely just laughing. And that was a great moment. It was the last time I saw Chris live.
Jesus Christ, man. Roseanne commercial.
We're revealing the been easy off the deep end for comedians. First day.
Sleep Wednesday night, there's kind of a working plan. Thursday, you start blocking, you start putting things on its feet.
We're setting up a set titled Chris Farley Show. We'll go to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. And that's true for...
Bro, the fact that they build these sets is insane.
Entire SNL crew. It is a never-ending race to beat the clock to Saturday.
Like, the amount of set design that goes into Saturday Night Live is still amazingly impressive.
If I thought Chris was drunk when he showed up, the problem...
Will, I left the fucking clothes. God damn it. No worries, bro. I have them right there. I got them sitting there for you.
His energy could be so overwhelming that I sometimes couldn't tell, is this behavior being caused by something else, or is this him being wired? I do recall that a few days later in the week while we were working, I thought to myself, oh, wow, I think that he's under the influence of something.
By midweek, Farley's condition was all too obvious, but it was too late to pull the plug. The sketches had been written and all the sets had been built.
Friday, they're blocking, all of a sudden, you're working with cameras, and again, you're getting a better sense of what the material's going to be.
Chris also wasn't the first person that was all up on that show. People that are close will say he should have been fired the day before they shot or whatever, which would have been That would have been probably the best thing, or not have him on the show quite yet at all. But in hindsight, you know, we all know everything.
Some of the show's writers even claimed that late in the week, as the episode was getting put on its feet, Farley was approaching them in a desperate panic. He had been afflicted by pangs of deep insecurity. He was no longer sure that he was funny.
Our comedians.
Jesus Christ, man. That's so sad.
Insecure at the core.
Yes.
I think at some point they are. That insecurity is what's asking if you're funny or not.
I think that Chris knew that he was funny, but I do think that he was oddly insecure about his humor.
Oh, wow. It goes quick, doesn't it? It goes way too quick. When you're here? Was it all right, though? Look at the sweat that I get when I get on these. Is it scary as shit?
I woke up laughing.
You did? Was it all right?
Yeah, it was great.
Man, Cal, you know the greatest, man.
Should we do a quick,
Was it all right? That was all right?
Oh, Chris, come on.
He always has to hear that reinforcement and get people to say that to him and, you know, to try and get some kind of positive feedback.
Farley was stuck in a feedback loop between feeling insecure and easing that feeling with drugs, alcohol, and food. How did things get so bad?
My father was this Midwestern guy that just had this great Irish humor.
These kids, all the Farley kids, love their dad so much. And kids are assholes. Do you know how many kids made fun of his dad around him?
The Farley kids idolized their father, but their dad's bigness and the way some people reacted to it seeded some early insecurities.
He always had a blue blazer on and a tie, but he was big.
Thank you so much.
And he would walk in, it's like, hey, everyone, look at my new blue blazer. And he's like, Dad, you look great. You look great, Dad. And clearly he didn't. And that was kind of like hate to say it, the elephant in the room, but like at some point, Chris must have thought in his head, like, if we're telling Dad to look great when he doesn't, like, how am I supposed to believe other people when they say, Chris, you're funny, we like you?
Like his father, Chris Farley was just a big guy. And while that physicality was key to his comedy, it also came with feelings of self-doubt.
I don't have much of the brain department, but when Fatty falls down, everyone goes home happy.
There are people through the years who have said that the key component to Chris Farley's comedy was because he was overweight. I disagree. I think that's really unfair to Chris to think that his weight was the kind of foundation to all of his humor.
I think Chris knew that he was funny. Unfortunately, what he got more rewarded for and what he got attention for, everybody loves it when Fatty falls down, is what he would say over and over again.
Here's you, here's Matt, there's you, there.
One of the things that always struck me about Chris Farley is the negative messages that he must have gotten as a performer. You know, there's, sexy, hot Patrick Swayze, and then we have Chris Farley, who's doing an amazing performance, but he's getting laughs because of his physical appearance, because he's overweight.
I think she misdiagnoses that. I think the funny part of that scene is not just that he's overweight, but that he truly, in that scene, outdances Patrick Swayze. If you watch it back, I think that's the funniest part, right? You have Patrick Swayze, who is like a sex icon at the time, and like a career dancer, right? Who's even done a dancing film. And then you have Farley, who's this unlikely, like, portly hockey player from the Midwest. And somehow he's so fucking graceful. I think that is like the biggest bit of that. I think she mischaracterized that because that's what always stood out to me about Farley. He's like a big guy, but he's so remarkably athletic and graceful and physically capable as a bigger performer.
Barney, we all agreed that your dancing was great. Your presentation was very sexy. I guess in the end, we all thought that Adrian's body was just much, much better than yours.
Let me say this, and this, I'm sure Chris had this his whole life, because you could get sober and you could get clean, and then you look at the mirror and you go, God damn it. Look at me.
You're giving too much credit to the lay audience. I don't know. Let me say this. Watch the sketch again, right? Watch the sketch again and ask yourself, could Bobby Moynihan have sold this, right? Like, could another fat comedian have sold this sketch? If it was just replace it with any fat comedian, is fat the funny part? Or is the fact that Chris Farley is so fucking remarkably... Someone said Belushi, well, then you prove my point. If the only other guy that can fill the shoes is the other greatest large comedian of all time, then you've kind of proved my point, right?
That guy in the mirror, and like, how long would it take to get this shit together right here? You've got to realize, oh, that's the voice trying to murder me in my head. And then eventually you're like, I don't want to feel good. Drugs. Well, the one thing I said to Chris is, you can either be super fat or on drugs, but you cannot be both.
True.
You really can't, because you will die.
Jesus Christ, man.
Roseanne came in work week
show.
Suddenly, after an average 80-hour work week, Saturday dress rehearsal is intense. Comedy suddenly becomes serious business.
His bro gives me strong Tom Arnold vibes. Bro, that is Tom Arnold. That's Tom Arnold. The other guy is his brother.
3.5 hours before the real thing.
I think people were actually worried the night of the show that something...
I mean, everybody's laughing, but to be honest, your instinct was correct. No part of what you said was wrong.
Particularly bad could happen with Chris, especially because his breathing seemed to be struggling and other factors.
That Saturday's cold open dealt with Farley's condition head-on, with a sketch that was about his unreliability and whether or not it was a good idea to let him host.
The last trip to the spa, it did the trick. I mean, totally clean for 6 weeks. No booze, no women. Still got the eating thing. I'm not going to kid you about that.
The fact that the cold opening was pitched makes sense. It was because he's sober now, he's back at the show, and we're going to make a joke about it because it's been enough time and it's safe to make a joke.
Cannot do better than Chris Farley, sir. I mean, fatty falls down, ratings go up.
But how do I know he's not going to screw up?
Well, because I won't.
The fact that it was still executed and carried out on Saturday doesn't make any sense at all.
My long night shifts at the hospital go by fast.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for the subscription as well.
Do this. Lauren, you're skeptical, and I don't blame you one bit.
They had all been witness to what had transpired that week. Whatever inertia was carrying them through, that they kept that sketch in the show, I don't understand.
Lauren, I just want you to know something. If you decide not to let me host, I'll totally understand. But if you do let me host, I swear to you that I will not let you down.
Can you still fall through a table?
This cavalcade of poor taste continued into the episode's monologue.
Thank you.
The monologue for the Farley show was definitely a controversial...
Okay, I'm pretty sure that desk was supposed to pop, and it didn't. That looks like a situation where he was trying to break the desk after the land.
The monologue for the Farley show was definitely a controversial sore spot of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, let me run that back. Sorry.
Can you still fall through a table?
This cavalcade of poor taste continued into the episode's monologue.
The monologue for the Farley show was definitely a controversial sore spot of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Farley.
Oh, the joke is that he couldn't do it anymore? That's pretty funny.
The joke was that after all that anxiety, Farley was a no-show and would need to be replaced live on air.
I knew this was going to happen.
They were doing jokes at Chris'
Fuck this, I can't watch, I'll be back later. Damn, all right.
expense with Chris participating, right? So it becomes an issue of, well, was Chris okay with this, or was he just going along? Or how self-aware was he of what he was saying?
If you perform like up, you can't connect with people. But I didn't know if that was happening with him, honestly. I know his throat, he sounded deeper. I think he said that he had a cold or something. That's what I noticed.
the host tonight is our good friend, Chris Farley. Come on, Chris.
That kind of heightened the suspense of the show in terms of people watching to make sure that he was going to be okay.
Thank you, Chris. Stream in its early keckle. Hope everyone is having an.
Thank you, Captain Jewish.
Yes, I've really learned some lessons tonight. You know what I've learned? I've learned lessons about responsibility.
The episode's opening minutes underscored a real problem. Maybe Lorne Michaels and the SNL brass should have pulled the plug. Maybe SNL couldn't save Chris Farley.
Time to grow up, fellas. I want you to live and it's gonna be okay. All right, okay. I'm the new Chris, okay, fellas? Now, stay, we're gonna great show.
Chris showed up the way he did. Yeah, they've had contingency plans for, you know, hosts that go awry. Yeah, they probably should have, you know, found somebody
tough, man.
Else. And they didn't.
Told you stay away from me, you dog. Go back and dance with Fatty.
Watching the episode felt like the old joke about watching NASCAR. Viewers were practically waiting for a crash, or for something to go horribly wrong. Farley was run through sketches that were particularly taxing physically.
He also did a Matt Foley kind of character. He's riding the bike. Yeah, it's tough to watch.
And I am a motivational speaker.
He lost his voice, I remember, and I was like, ah, good. That's not good.
Evan, you know, I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
It seemed like Farley was barely
so
hanging on by a thread. Some of his fellow cast members and friends tried to cover for him as best they could.
That one wasn't very good, but try to laugh anyway, because it helps Farley have a little rest.
And I heard from somebody afterwards that he had to have oxygen, like backstage.
Jesus Christ, man.
Age.
Oh, take it all down. Put mommy down. Put mommy down.
Just was just so out of shape and yeah, it's tough to watch.
By the end of the show, many involved had realized that pushing Farley to the limit might not save him. These jokes weren't funny anymore. Still, Farley made it through the show by the skin of his teeth. And surprising no one, he even made it to the traditional after-show party.
He did go to the after party, of course he did. When you come off the high and the tension of hosting Saturday Night Live, your reward is to go to the after party just to get accolades from writers and cast and any other VIPs who were there.
Reportedly, Farley desperately sought Lorne Michaels' approval, asking, "I was funny tonight, wasn't I, boss?" It would be the last time Michaels would ever speak with the star.
Jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, about an hour, I guess, before we taped tonight's program, we heard very sad and upsetting news. We found out that Chris Farley died, passed away.
I was actually at a friend of mine's office in Connecticut, and he's got in his office a TV that's muted. And we're talking, and I look over, and I see Kristen Spade on the screen, and I'm like, what has this guy done now? And as I go to turn the volume up, it shows, you know, a live shot of Chris's building in Chicago, and ambulances out front. And the narration is, you know, we're hearing that Chris Farley's dead. That's how I heard.
CBS News has learned 2 days before his death, Chris Farley contacted a Chicago escort service. Tuesday afternoon was spent, according to a source, drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana.
Last day of Chris's life,
I like how she tried to make that sound so scary. Drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana.
That much about it because he wasn't with any of the people that, you know, knew him or cared about him. He had been off on a bender, and no one had seen him for a couple of days. He brought a woman back to his apartment, and they were doing drugs together, and he collapsed.
Yeah, you know, the same thing with Belushi, the speedball, you know, the heroin cocaine kind of combination. It was really a heart attack based on years of abuse.
Bionic broccoli,
were
thank you.
practically closed. He was just in horrible shape.
Chris Farley's fateful final Saturday Night Live performance was meant to be a lifeline. It was more of a last gasp. Like his hero and fellow SNL legend, John Belushi, Chris Farley died well before his time, aged just 33.
Chris Farley's Madison funeral was, like Chris Farley in so many ways, bigger than life. His Hollywood friends came to pay respects. Dan Aykroyd, comedian Chris Rock, actor John Goodman.
Whenever Chris came home, like the first thing, he would just hug you. You know, it was so great. It was just so great. He would just wrap you up. That was the greatest hug in the world. I miss that.
Anyone who saw him auditioning for the Chippendales with Patrick Swayze knows that he was every bit as brilliant as his idols John Belushi and Jackie Gleason. I'm sorry that everyone won't be able to see all of his brilliance. He was more talented than any of us, and all of us knew it. No one laughed harder at our jokes, especially when they were about him.
I miss that he's here, that, you know, I have kids, and my kids are 8 and 5, and they're big fans of Chris Farley, of the stuff he did and watching him. And it would be nice to have him over with his kids, you know, and just to get together with him and shoot the shit. I don't have, you know, a giant circle of, and I certainly don't have anybody like Chris Farley in my life. Say, hey, buddy. Hey, what are you doing?
Chris Farley is one of the greatest physical comedians of all time.
We're going to be talking about Chris Farley for a long time. I think he's just one of those unique individuals, and who's so singular.
Young lady, you want to throw in your 2 cents?
I'm talking about this person who did all these things as part of his process for the comedy. It made sense to me that he wanted a break from living inside of that craziness that we all benefited from.
Chris Farley always embraced being the butt of the joke, even if those jokes cut close to the bone. He clearly struggled in his private life and sometimes even on screen.
Can't they lift me?
But his legacy has transcended those struggles. Even if he had doubts and insecurities, audiences then and now know the truth. He was one of the most physically committed and flat-out funniest comedians in the long history of Saturday Night Live.
Damn. What a documentary. That was so good. Here's the Chippendales sketch. I mean, we're practically obligated to just watch this so we can end on a good note.
This is impossible.
I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from
Can't we just hire them
Can you
both?
please play
No,
the Adam
we've been through
Sandler
this.
tribute song to Chris Farley?
No, because it's sad. We're going to end with this.
We've only got the budget for one dancer.
Yeah, but they're both so great, I can't decide between them.
It's really good. Don't get me wrong, but I want to watch something fun.
Well, that's our job. That's what Chippendale pays us for.
I know, but these guys have been through hell. A 5-hour audition, 3 callbacks.
Well, look, if you want to give up your salary so Chippendales can hire both of these guys, that's fine with me.
Okay.
Marcy, bring him in.
This is the part of the job that I hate.
This sketch is pure. For those of you who don't know what Chippendales is, it's a strip club for women where very attractive men dance.
Adrian, Barney, listen, before we start, I just want to say once again that either one of you would make a fine addition to the Chippendale family. I know you've been put through a long audition, and it's been hard, but I think that in itself is a testament to how good both of you are and just how difficult our choice is. I wish I could just flip a coin and be done with it, but can't.
We're Chippendales.
We're Chippendales. Marcy, music. Thank you, Adrian. Barney, if you could just give us a minute, we'll have our decision.
Dude, the facial expressions.
Oh, Adrian, you were great out there, man. I know. It's gonna be you.
Oh, what are you talking about, Barney? You got it, you know it.
Whatever happens, you're the best.
Buddies?
Buddies.
They're ready for you guys.
Adrian, Barney, well, we've made our decision. But before we tell you, I just want to say once again how truly difficult it was for us to make our choice. And to thank you for your patience throughout this long, arduous audition.
They both sell this so well.
We're going to go with Adrian.
I knew it, man.
I'm sorry. I just never wanted anything so much in my life. And now that I got it, I just can't deal with it.
Oh, that's okay, Adrian. We understand. Barney, we all agreed that your dancing was great. Your presentation was
very sexy.
I guess in the end, we all thought that Adrian's body was just much, much better than yours.
Okay.
You see, it's just that at Chippendales, our dancers have traditionally had that lean, muscular, healthy physique, like Adrian's. Whereas yours is, well, fat and flabby.
Right.
Right.
And then he just starts dancing.
No, Barney. No, Barney. We've made our decision.
Excuse me, can I make a point?
Sure.
You know, I just want to say that this guy, he is one hell of a dancer, you know, and he's got the sexiest moves I have ever seen. And if you're really serious about going with me, you know, it can only be because his body is so bad.
Thanks, man.
Sure.
Thanks, man.
Dancing and presentation, ain't no way I'm better than him.
Amen. Amen. You see, Barney, we considered the possibility that our heavier female customers might actually prefer a heavier man that they could identify with. But then we decided...
Even as I stood there listening to them explain why they had chosen me, I still couldn't believe it. Ever since I could remember, I had dreamed of becoming a Chippendales dancer, and now I was one. I never saw Barney again, but I'll never forget him and how for
It's
one
the
brief
truth.
moment, he brought out the best in me.
You.
The time of my life.
Dude, the fact that he had just been in Dirty Dancing too is so fucking dude. Listen, that is one of the great sketches. That sketch is just so good. All right, let's take a look at what else we have in our reaction.
I'm Alan Pan.
Oh, is this where he built the snake legs? Alan Pan's videos are good. Top 10 horror villains. Superman meets evil Superman. Medieval fighting. The original. Oh. Bo Tashi. Oh, this is that pole game. I'm going to take a look at this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What a goated sport. Do you think someone can be funny without having gone through some sort of tragedy or struggle? Tragedy, yes. Struggle, no. Funny is literally a social adaptation. It's the quality of being socially aware to the point that you can like surprise or make someone laugh while they're still comfortable. I think you have to have gone through some struggle. I don't know many like exorbitantly rich people who are very funny. You can be funny in the sense that people can laugh at you like a Donald Trump, but I don't think you can like be a funny person.
Mr. William, I'm watching you.
Thank you. Oh my God. Who invented this game? So the point of this game is to knock the guy off the post. Oh, look at his skill. Oh, and he's done. And now they're going to try and pull it over. Does this remind anybody else of Ants? For some reason, I always think of Ants when I see this game. Ants the movie? No, just Ants in general. And there you have it. What a fun... Dude, there are a lot of fun games out there that are extremely dangerous. Snake Hat, the deadliest food in Asia. That looks super gross. $100 million mega yacht with 2 swimming pools. This seems like a good piece of content for me to round out the night. I love some capitalist porn. It's Turkish! Wait, is it Hassan's?
What's up, everybody? It's Enes here, and welcome to Istanbul, Turkey.
My
On this
God.
week's episode, we're touring this.
Bro, that looks like green screen. Does that look like green screen to anybody else? It's so insane that it looks fake.
Constructed 263-foot long mega yacht, also known as Tatiana. On the exterior, this yacht was
Bust it down on a gang. Bust it down, Tatiana. They named the boat Tatiana.
designed by Unique Yacht Design, and on the interiors, H2 paired this yacht with exquisite.
All right, someone donated a big bunch of bits, but it got blocked. 1,000 perception is every blank.
Perception is
every. There you go.
Over
It'll
the
still
past
read it.
3 weeks, I got an 8-pint speeding ticket, got laid off, rear-ended a 74-years-old in traffic, and yesterday a wheel weight tore my tire on track. Thankfully the weight stayed in the tire, allowing me to keep control and slow down. BC, if it dislodged, I don't know if I'd be here still. But BC, I started working on my mental positivity. I haven't fallen into a depression, and somehow everything's worked itself out.
Jesus
Time for
Christ,
stressing
man.
mental positivity.
Feel better, man. You're going through it. Sorry to hear about all that. Please feel better. Keep yourself safe, too. And thank you for the donation. Jesus Christ, man.
Finishes throughout. The current market value of this yacht is somewhere around 85 million euros, so we're definitely excited for today's episode.
$100 million.
I want to thank the builder and the shipyard behind this new vessel, Bilgin Yachts, for giving us the honor and the opportunity to tour this amazing new yacht and share it with all of you. And now, let's begin our tour.
Wow. Bust it down, Tatiana. I want to see you bust it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is this a Call of Duty map? Holy shit. Dude, I am having this very weird, juxtaposition of thoughts in my head, right? The first round of thoughts in my head are that this should not exist. It's so exorbitant. It's something that a pharaoh would own. And the other set of thoughts that I'm having is, I fucking want it. I fucking want it.
Oh, yeah, wow.
I want it.
Cool.
Bro, if you can't get your dick sucked on this.
On the exterior, the yacht has very sleek and contemporary lines.
Oh, dude, that looks fake.
Color combination.
It's so pretty, it looks fake.
Length of this yacht and compare it to its height, it's a relatively short yacht because it was designed to be this really streamlined and kind of sporty mega yacht. I know from the exterior the yacht looks very exciting and there are so many more details that we could talk about it, but first I want to bring everybody's attention here to the aft deck on the main level.
Oh my
right behind
God.
You have this awesome bar setup with the bar seating, chrome details throughout, and right across.
I'm gonna turn up the volume and put on subs a little in a second. Hold on. Oh shit. What the? Oh, my bad. I see what happened.
And right across from that, we.
Thank you.
I cannot fathom the idea that if I ever had $1 million that I would still be 99 short of owning this pussy magnet of the seas.
That's one of my favorite donations ever. The pussy magnet of the sea.
We have this outdoor seating area.
Volume ones if it's good, guys.
And right behind that, we have this massive jetted
Oh
jacuzzi that sits
my
on the rear side of
God.
this yacht. It looks super inviting. You have the outdoor seating areas on each side. And if you look closely, right in the center of this jetted jacuzzi, we actually have skylights bringing natural light to the lower deck. And
what?
It's such a unique, cool detail that we're gonna see later in the tour. Now, coming back here, we have beautiful teak floors throughout, gorgeous stainless steel deck hardware, and over here we have a staircase.
Damn, Hassan never invited you on. I didn't even know he owned Tatiana.
To the bridge deck, which is right above us. Now, lastly, we have this automatic sliding glass door taking us to the salon. Now, this part of this yacht is incredible. This room is stunning. We have the seating area right in front of us. But first, I want to cover this section here. We have this gorgeous grand staircase taking us from the beach club and bringing us here. We're going to tour that beach club later in the video. We have an additional sliding glass door on the other side. And as soon as you walk in, you kind of have this landing area here. Beautiful European oak hardwood floors, built-ins on each side with this mirrored back wall. And as soon as you step this way, you have this salon seating area here. Exquisite furniture set up throughout. You pretty much have double of everything. Obviously, this side of the yacht is extremely spacious. I love the built-in speaker details, recessed in LED
Dude, the
lights,
crazy thing
as
is,
well as
my living room will never be this nice. And this living room is on a fucking boat.
subtle mood lighting that we're going to see throughout the yacht. And focusing this side, we have more built-ins with TV right in the center and this gorgeous gloss finished Makassar with detail that we're going to see throughout the yacht. Now, of course, you have massive windows bringing a ton of natural light to the space, automatic shades, and this is the area where you sit down, relax, and enjoy the amazing sea views. Now, continuing this way, we have the built-ins that extend out, and right behind this TV unit, we have the dining area. Beautiful seating setup here with this custom table that's 14 people, and right above,
A 14-person dinner
made by
table.
Last Fit that really frames this room. Obviously, y'all can see this part of the yacht is very spacious. We have massive windows.
Why so many people? All right, so I'm gonna tell you this about yachts. Usually when you take a yacht exhibition, if you own a yacht, you're gonna try and put as many people on it as possible because the fuel and the staff is so expensive. You're basically paying for those extra people anyway.
And focusing on
Not that I know that much about yachts, but
hand side, we have these beautiful wood veneer details, hand-hammered steel panels that we're going to see throughout the yacht, all made and
I mean, someone who owns a boat like this, I mean, doesn't need to save any money, but it's like, I think it's just like they want to have more people on.
By Billigan. And over here, to kind of bring some color to this dining area, we have this backlit, gorgeous stone. And lastly, Mike, I know this is an interesting area to talk about this detail, but if you focus on the floors here, we have the European oak hardwood floors, additional hardwood floors with this stainless steel inlay and the carpet. And if you look at the ceiling, Mikey, you can actually see that.
All right, enough
there's
about the
same
fucking
border
ceiling,
detail
dude. Let's.
on the ceilings as
Oh my
well.
God, what is
I mean,
this?
talking about attention. This kitchen is built like a commercial kitchen. Everything is clad with stainless steel. We have the first deep sink over here, 2 Electrolux dishwashers.
What?
And in the center, you
the
have your island set up with open shelving. And right
that is like a restaurant kitchen. What the fuck?
Set up your microwave. And on this side, we have more uppers, base cabinets, and an additional sink. Overall, great size galley that really fits this yacht.
I just
now,
moved
going back to the
college
dining
today
room.
and it feels kind of weird. Thanks for being a consistent source of laughter and advice, Neff.
Hey, no worries. When everything is changing, I'll be your rock, baby. But you know, it's gonna feel weird, but I hope you also feel excited because when everything changes, everything changes.
Area, we have another door here opening up to a long hallway that takes us to the guest cabins. On my left hand side we have the elevator access on this deck, and on my right hand side we have this beautiful stainless steel staircase that goes up all the way to the top deck as well as the lower deck. It's built out of stainless steel. I love the onyx steps throughout. Everything is LED lit, including the vertical lighting on the wall.
All right, let's go look at the guest cabins.
Following here, on my right-hand side, we have the first guest stateroom. All the guest staterooms.
Tatiana has a crew of 21. That's crazy.
In this yacht are so well thought out. Every little
Jesus Christ. This is what the fuck?
Detail is perfected. We have beautiful built-in furniture set up here, wood paneled walls throughout.
Not gonna lie, I would love to see this underwater.
On the ceiling.
True.
Of course, you have your built-in speakers, recessed lights. We have the recessed-in TV on this side. Walls are clad with leather. And Mikey, we gotta show this detail. You got a nice built-in desk set up, and your wardrobe.
You can stream.
Space.
I'm ballsy. I don't take from
Yes.
anyone.
Put this donation toward the yacht fund.
Oh, yeah.
Only 1,99,99,999 more of these donations and it can be yours.
We're well on our way, baby.
Hammered steel details, beautiful wood veneers throughout. I mean, everything is so decked out. And this door opens up to the full bathroom for this guest cabin, marble throughout, book matched everywhere. You have your rain head, chrome fixtures. Of course, you get a view of the sea as well. And right here, we have the fabricated countertop for this gorgeous laminated design, hidden drain, polished chrome details throughout. Just an amazing bathroom.
That bathroom's more
First
expensive
of
than my
many
house.
that we're gonna see throughout our tour. Now, coming back here, we have another guest stateroom on this side. This one comes with a double bed setup.
We don't need to see the additional rooms that are the exact same. Wait, beach club?
All right, everyone, here we are at this grand staircase off of the salon. This is one of the wow moments of this incredible yacht. I mean, look at the marble work here that goes all the way into the walls with the subtle LED lighting. They have the Macassar gloss finish wood panels, kind of breaking that pattern. This grand staircase looks stunning, and it brings you to the beach club. Now, this part of the yacht is very exciting. We have an amazing indoor pool, and we're gonna cover all the other amenities here. But first off, I wanna talk about the entry here with this beautiful blue active stone detail, your bar seating, and right on the other side, you have your fabricated Carrara marble bar section there. Behind me, we have this concealed door opening up to the steam room. And continuing our tour, we have this opening here taking us to
Oh my
Part
God.
of the yacht is all about taking care of yourself, enjoying the amenities that this yacht provides. And it comes with a massage room. You have your sink set up here, and we have one of these hydraulic side decks that folds down and kind of extends out your outdoor area. You get a little bit closer to the water.
Yo, how come billionaires don't fucking retire? Why do they gotta keep making money? If I could live like this, bro, you would not see me. I would just walk from the steam room to the massage deck. They're sick!
Creates this awesome breeze on the lower deck, and in case you want to benefit from the natural light but yet you don't want to have the breeze, we have these sliding glass doors closing off these folding down sections. Now, going back in, we have another door right here. Mikey, let's take a quick look, and it is the full bathroom on this level. Vanity set up on my right hand side marble throughout all the way to the walls. We have the walk-in shower here with a hidden drain, rain head above. I love how sleek the store is. It just kind of disappears into this pattern.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about what's behind me, which is this.
These motherfuckers put a pool on top of a pool. You understand that, right? They double-decked their pools. I don't know if I've ever seen that. A pool on top of a pool.
Indoor pool area. This pool is 9 meters long, 3 meters wide, and 1.6 meters
in the ocean. It's a pool in a boat.
Meters deep. And the fact that you have this within your yacht is something mind-boggling in my opinion. Even the coping of the pool is clad with marble. You have mosaic inside. And here's another fun fact. When we arrived this morning, they actually had the pool drain because this has tanks that can store the water from the pool and jacuzzis when it's cruising. No. You don't have to splash around any water. You know, I wanted to point this pool out, and Mikey, we have to mention this. Right above us, we have
a pool
that are located underneath.
Thank you, monitor lizards.
Deck jacuzzi.
Pretty
How
insane.
cool is that?
Pretty incredible.
I know, right? This is amazing. And behind these wood panel doors, we actually have a couple doors opening up to utility rooms for this yacht. I wanted to mention that. And coming here, this is another incredibly cool detail of this yacht. Ready, Mikey? We have this massive hydraulic door that actually opens up to the lower deck or the outside F deck.
Get real.
And all of a sudden, now your beach club gets more natural light, has a nice floating, kind of like a cantilevered roof line.
Get real.
Your lower deck where you have your passerole and you can access the water. Mikey, why don't you take the route that we just came at, and I want to take the other side so everybody can get a scale of this beach club. I mean, this part of the yacht is certainly.
You get an achievement in Hitman if you kill a guest with that door.
And going to this side, you kind of have more lounging and seating areas complemented with 2 TVs. And right above me, Mikey, we have fiber optic ceilings. How cool is that?
It's like a Rolls Royce.
That's right. Now we have another side hydraulic folding down deck setup here. Again, brings ton of natural light to the lower deck. It's just an awesome outdoor space to enjoy. We currently have the railing up, and just like the other side, if you want to block off the wind but yet allow natural light to come into the space, you have these sliding glass doors. Now I want to tell you guys something about this yacht. Tatiana was custom built for an
Bust it down, Tatiana.
And they were so successful with this build that they ended up building 2 more sister yachts that have the same kind of layout, but a little bit more refined with extra features. And those were also so successful that
They were called Nikki and Meg the Stallion.
they ended up selling them. We actually had a chance to see those 2 other yachts in the shipyard. In fact, we're doing a behind the scenes episode for the shipyard on our second channel, NS Plus. Make sure to check that out. Also, they started building the 4th one, which will be for sale in the future. So that's really exciting.
You hear that, Chad? You could have one too.
Again, we're gonna have an awesome episode on NS Plus channel. Now, back to here on the lower deck, we just saw the beach club, and within this level, we also have the utility rooms, crew quarters, and the engine room. So why don't we go to the engine room first and check out what powers this incredible vessel.
Oh my God.
All right, everyone, here we are in the engine room.
What the fuck?
Immaculate condition. Everything is so clean. And as you all can hear, it's a little bit loud here because we currently have one of the generators running. But you guys get the point. This is the engine room. Now, on each side of me, we have these MTU 4000 series engines that are capable of producing 3,400 horsepower. And these 2 engines are pushing this vessel at 19 knots speeds, which is about 22 miles an hour, almost, which is just incredible. And at 12 knots speed, this yacht actually burns only 250 liters of fuel.
Only.
Which makes this yacht very efficient considering its length and its size. So that's that.
All right, I want to see the crew quarters.
To the crew quarters. Now, when this yacht is fully staffed,
Bro, I love how the rest of the boat is so beautiful, and this looks like a scene from The fucking Shining.
has 23 crew members, and they all have their space nicely labeled. They have their own kitchen and living room and hangout areas. It's discreetly positioned on the lower deck. They kind of have their access points for each level. I wanted to point that out. And continuing our tour, we have a few other storage rooms here.
Wait, I want to see one of their rooms.
fuel.
Is he not going to show their rooms? That's actually hilarious if he doesn't show inside their rooms. Is that inside one of the rooms?
Trash and everything. But on the lower deck, we actually have another area where we have 3. Go check that out. And we're going to start our tour here with this.
He does not show their rooms.
Store, and it takes us to the gym. I like this room because it's nicely tucked in on this level.
Wow.
We have these beautiful vertical LED light details that runs all the way to the ceiling.
Jeez, look at that gym.
On this side with a TV right in the center, and they dress this room nicely with techno gym equipment. And Mikey, let's show. Around the corner here, we have another pocket door opening up to
this gym will never get used.
Shower
Never.
with marble details, rain head above, and you have your dry sauna right here. Even in the dry sauna, they have LED lighting, nicely built into the seating and underneath.
All right, I gotta leave soon, so I want to
Take everybody
see.
back here, back to the hallway.
I want to see the owner's
Next
suite.
door is stateroom.
Oh
All right,
my
everyone.
god!
Now we are at the top level, owner's deck. I'm gonna start our tour on the left-hand side here to check out the lounge area for this level. It's nice and spacious. We have 2 chairs on this side, drop-down TV here, and right above me, we have skylight bringing natural light to the space, and you even have your privacy shades here in case you wanna darken this room. This may look like a nice padded wall with brass inlays. It's actually a Murphy bed that can drop down. That way you have 2 people sleeping here if you need to. Of course, since you're on the front side of the yacht, you have massive windows looking towards the views.
Thank you, Anonymous.
The crew quarters compared to the rest of the yacht pretty much reflects the state of society.
Yep.
Automatic curtains throughout, including this door right here. In fact, why don't we hit the door right here, go outside, check out the front of the owner's deck. You have an additional outdoor seating here, right in the center, this awesome hot tub setup with a glass front, again, complementing the owner's deck. Now, closing these doors, I want to take everybody back inside and bring you guys to the staircase access. Going to the other side, we have another pocket door here. Takes us to the owner's suite. Starting here, let's check out the bathroom. Beautiful marble throughout. They used it on the walls as well. Nicely book matched. You have 2 drop-in sinks, round mirrors, and over here you have your tub setup. Again, clad with this stunning marble. You have your walk-in shower there, chrome fixtures, rain head above. I mean, these bathrooms are like luxury home bathrooms. It's incredible that we're on a yacht right now. It's hard to think, you know? Now, we have dressing rooms on the other side as well as here. Pretty much a replica. You have all this storage space. And in case you were wondering, since we're on the yacht, everything is on a lock and some sort of a magnet mechanism. That way, when you close something, it doesn't wobble or it doesn't open as you're cruising. Now, going through here, we have another automatic sliding door opening up to the owner's bedroom. We have the king size bed on the right hand side. The room is extremely spacious. We have a small table setup on the right hand side facing the windows, and on the left hand side we have an awesome
Valley Cat. Thank you.
Right next to the windows for you to sit down, relax, and enjoy the view.
A chaise longue.
And focusing here to the bed setup again, I love this padded back wall design with the brass inlay. You have your reading light, Marcassar wood detail that we've been seeing throughout, and this wallpaper design here is actually made out of straws, which is super unique. You know, they
Madman, thank you.
So really cool pattern there. Bed is all built in, LED lighting throughout. On my right hand side you have your TV setup. Over here you can probably put an additional TV. Even the ceilings here, they did this nice layered detail with mood lighting, built-in speakers. This is phenomenal. This is the owner's stateroom. You pretty much have everything you need here, including your bathrooms, lounge areas. I mean, you name it.
That is an absurd amount of pillows. That is a fucking absurd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pillows.
That's it.
You know what the nicest part about it is?
This is it.
No.
What is it?
That you can move it anywhere you want in the world.
Well, that's also true. Obviously, that's the benefit of having a yacht, right?
Lady, thank you.
And now I'm going to put my glasses on again because we have these automatic sliding glass doors opening up to the F deck on this level. More outdoor seating. You have another amazing lounging area right at the end. They currently have the awnings attached. You can actually see your massive GPS radar system above us. This is just an awesome outdoor space dedicated to the owner's suite.
Oh my. Plus it down, Tatiana. Yacht should be illegal? Oh, absolutely. There's no reason to own anything like this. Thank you, Froggy Two Shoes.
All right, everyone, that's it for the tour.
Wow. What a good, ridiculous piece of capitalist porn to end on. Guys, keep submitting content to the Discord React Suggest channel. It's dope. I use it all the time now. It's totally changed my stream. I really appreciate you guys doing it. And it's a really fun way to interact with the channel. You know, you got something you want to see, put it in there. I can't guarantee it'll be shown, but you know, it adds and it's a community experience. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had a wonderful time. I know it wasn't the longest stream, but 3.5 hours is better than nothing. I wanted to make sure I came in and gave you a little some. You know what I mean? Just a little some. But 1 second, let me check something. I think my friend is streaming for the first time tonight. Hold on. Also, guys, make sure you come by Thursday. Why? An amazing new episode of Name Your Price. And a new episode of Donna coming out. 1 second. On the horizon. We have Mia Malkova coming. It's going to be an amazing episode. Thank you for everything you do. I'm going to send you over to my buddy. He just started streaming. This raid is going to scare the ever-loving shit out of him, so be nice to him. Let's get him to affiliate so we can start doing some big boy streaming. I'm sending you his way. Be gentle, people. Thanks for everything you do. I'll be back tomorrow for another stream, and Wednesday for film night, and Thursday for Name Your Price. And hey, Donna, I'll be in Austin this weekend, most likely. You are the wind beneath my wings. Thank you for everything you do. Stay dangerous, and good night.